Morning.
Morning.
So this is Donkey Kong 64, and there's going to be a lot going on here. So first of all, we're going to be starting with story skip on. So we're just going to because lore and we have time, so I think we're just going to start with watching the intro story because otherwise we'll skip it entirely. All right, are we ready?
You can do a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
All right, but that, it's like the intro story is really long. Like it's like over 4 minutes long, so I guess we'll just like tag it.
Just play the game, man.
Also, even if we're running on Virtual Console with virtually no lag, we'll just turn off music because we don't want to have any accidental lag frames due to that, right?
Yeah.
And because the music in this game is notoriously bad, am I right?
Yeah, totally.
So I was gonna say the first thing you might have noticed is he cancelled the intro story very specifically, and you're gonna find out why in a second.
Yeah, there's gonna be some interesting things going on in the following 4 minutes. I'll explain everything when we're done with that. For now, you can just enjoy the DK grunting sound.
The silence. Just as I remember it.
Oh crap.
Oh no.
Oh crap.
Yeah, so this can happen.
Yeah. So what happened there was basically I don't want to spoil too much, but he's running on a set timer. Oh, it's fine. You don't need to read it. Yeah. And everything needs to be done at a certain time from starting the intro story cutscene.
Yeah.
And if you're too slow or too late, a cutscene will start from the intro story and mess up the glitch.
Yeah, because the intro story, basically, like, to simplify things, the intro story is now playing in the background, even though we're playing the game. And there are transitions in the intro story, going from, like, one scene to another, and we need to avoid those transitions by doing something else in the game, basically. And the transitions will activate on any cutscene, which will be a bit relevant later, but for example, like loading into a training barrel is a cutscene. But if we time it correctly, we can override it and enter the training barrel instead of the intro story.
Yeah, so there are different ways of doing this, but I'm assuming you're doing the fastest one, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first part of the intro cutscene fades in again at 55 seconds or so. So that's why he entered the barrel at that exact time there.
Yeah, you can see like the screen starting to fade to black as I entered before the DK transition starts. And I'm also going to wait here for the next one. This will look incredibly stupid and ominous, especially with the music off.
Nice speedrun, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just standing there.
Just waiting here.
And now you can see the cutscene from the intro story trying to fade in, and he cancels it.
All right.
Hardest tree in the game.
Yeah. Auto-scroller, by the way.
Oh, sick. Nice backup. Yeah, so here he just needs to be quick on his menuing. Again, the fade-ins from the cutscenes happen at very specific times after this barrel. And he needs to cancel every single fade-in from the intro story cutscene.
Yeah, and since this is basic, like the intro story takes 4 minutes and 24 seconds, so we can't really like save or lose any time. So we're just gonna use that time the intro story plays to do something useful. Everything I do within, like even though we're technically running in the main menu, everything I do will be saved onto my file. So we're just gonna be doing a bunch of shit, like clearing the training barrels here, and we're gonna be watching a bunch of boss cutscenes which will instantly fade out, so we don't need to watch them later on.
And this is right at the beginning of the run, which is nice. So, you know, that's just mid part of the run, it wouldn't be too frustrating. So, skip a bunch of stuff just by doing this. Pretty cool.
Also, shout outs to the DK rap.
Yeah.
True.
Which will also happen later. There has been a donation incentive for that, and it has been met. So we will be singing the DK rap after this run.
Hell yeah, mate.
So hype for that.
Could have sang it now.
How about no?
Yeah, I'll let you focus.
This is pretty lenient on VC, but
So you notice how there, like the cutscene just like completely cut out, didn't even end the boss cutscene, and sometimes doesn't even start. So
Yeah, and like when we enter the multiplayer, it will just immediately throw us out.
Yeah, and you're entering the multiplayer mode to unlock the guns, right?
Yeah, and to like let us watch the next cutscene, because once we get faded out of one boss cutscene, we can't watch another one until we like go into something else.
Yeah. And when you watch someone do this for the first time, it just looks like they're messing around on the menu.
I did have like a semi-scripted thing for this, like just to meme around with this, but I'm way too tired. Like if I say something really stupid, do you understand that I've been up all night playing Street Boys?
Street Boys.
SMH.
Sleep is for the weak, by the way.
So much Street Boys here at ESA.
Street Boys.
And this is the final cutscene.
Yeah, so we're basically done now with the Switch.
Yeah.
Just some RNG coming up now.
You're gonna find out something very fun about that boss later in the run as well. Now we wait. Get some blessed RNGs in the chat.
Yeah, pray for good RNG.
And pray that DK skipped leg day.
Nope,
Oh,
there's leg
gosh.
day.
All right, so the
knew
thing with that leg shake is that there are different events that can happen in the main menu. There are 11 different cutscenes or events that can play, and 2 of them don't let you fade in. Leg shake is one of them.
Oh, there we go.
The other one would be night cycle. Like if the screen goes black, it doesn't count as a cutscene, so it can't fade you in. And that is completely luck based.
It's a good laugh.
Yeah,
I remember that laugh.
leg shake in the chat.
Is it one of your FZ emotes?
Yep,
Hey.
it has to be right.
It has to be.
Yeah.
So do you reset over a leg shake?
Depends on my mood. I don't need to, but it's like 10 seconds, so
Yeah.
depends on if I want to do main menu mode again. Usually the answer is no. Alright, so we're gonna clear this last one. The reason we leave orange barrel for last is because we actually need oranges. The thing, okay, so the whole reason we did that intro story glitch thing is to unlock all the moves for all the Kongs, even the ones we haven't freed yet. There are some side effects, namely, we don't have any ammo, even though we have all the gun upgrades. We don't have any crystals, although we have all the moves. And, yeah, but we need oranges. And since we do orange barrel after the intro story, we actually get the oranges because it refills our oranges to 20.
Nice wool, by the way.
Yeah.
Which one?
Okay, so...
I didn't see any more.
So, shoutouts to walls.
Yeah, shoutouts to
There's
Rool.
not going to be a lot of them in this run. If you've never seen a run of this game, it was very commonly known as the game without walls for a good reason.
What was a suggestion?
Yeah.
Is the famous meme.
Yeah, I personally I think they don't even exist. Like,
So do you care to
They really
explain what just
don't.
happened while you were swimming there?
all right, so that is actually as easy as it looks. So on the American version of the game, there's a camera overflow thing that happens when you're facing a certain direction. And so if you're in water facing a wall in the correct direction, you can literally just go into first person using C-up, hold A to swim, and go out of C-up and you just go straight through the wall. You can try this at home if you have the American version of the game.
Just literally just turn slightly right and press A.
Exactly.
It's so free.
Yeah, sadly it's patched on the PAL and JP versions, so they're like
don't-
way slower.
Just don't
because
play
of
them, they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
just play
How can you
US
play this
version.
game with walls? It's just not the same game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's literally not the same game. It's like a DLC. They added walls.
Yeah, but not all of them. We still have plenty of ways to.
Aw, dang.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I was trying to hit the golden banana and the loading zone at the same time. There, just skip this banana dance. And hashtag that can happen.
Yeah. You just like barely scraped the banana while hitting the loading zone.
Yeah. All right. So because this is no levels early, we're actually going to be going through the levels in intended order. Otherwise, in this game, you can basically go through the levels in any order you want to. There's only one level you can't enter without the key, and that's Creepy Castle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's like fairly easy methods to enter any level at any time.
This game has reverse boss order, right?
Almost.
Yeah.
Reverse key order.
Oh.
Hello. And it does require use of several files
There's a trick called push push.
because we used the bush to push us out of bounds.
Shows
Original.
to the wall.
All right, so you're going to be seeing a lot of these screens.
Green screens, saving some money.
I know, right? Like, I really want to like add a color key to this game at some point. Just like make green screen something really funny.
Yeah. So yeah, when you're like out of bounds in this game and you're like not in the area with any like background or like anything going on, it just gives you like a green screen.
Sometimes black.
Yeah.
Also, shoutouts to Moonkicks. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of those as well. So as DK, if you go on a slope or a ledge and you do an aerial attack and you hit the ground during that aerial attack, you can cancel it and do a kick instead, and the height of the aerial attack will be added to the kick, making DK fly through the air like that. It looks really cool, and it's really useful to like get to places fast.
He also has the scope like right away, and
Yeah.
because of that he can do these kind of things such as this cutscene skip here.
Yeah. So the way cutscenes work in this game is that if two cutscenes are playing at the same time, the one that starts first gets completely overwritten and cancelled. So we're gonna be starting long cutscenes first and overriding them with short ones. And yeah.
Casually ignoring more walls.
Casually ignoring the water.
Yeah, so we were laughing about this. Like, there's always that one, like in old video games, there's always like one game mechanic that completes the game open. Like it's some move or like, I don't know, I run Banjo-Tooie, so it's like clockwork eggs, stuff like that. In this game, it's water.
Yeah. So
and there's a lot of water.
The enemy you just killed, the clubs, every Kong has a different way of killing them, depending on if their attacks are actually strong enough to kill him in like 2 combos. Whereas some Kongs have to use the guns to kill those quickly.
Yeah. Fun fact, different Kongs actually deal different amounts of damage with their guns. There's another cutscene skip. So this blast off actually counts as a cutscene, so we're gonna be skipping the whole freeing Diddy cutscene with that.
I'm so glad it's the only one we do in the run. Especially on the Wii U.
Yeah, this is the only B blast, and luckily it's also the easiest one. But yeah, basically this category requires 100 out of 201 golden bananas, because that's the amount required to quote-unquote intended way entering Hideout Helm, which is the last level. We're also going to be gathering all the boss keys because we need to. We need them to enter the levels. So basically, no levels early implies we cannot enter a level lobby without turning in the appropriate key, and we cannot skip any B-lockers. B-locker is the wooden guy who blocks the portal to every level. So we're just going to grab ammo. Like I said, we start with 0, so a big part of like running this category at a high level is resource management. It's going to be a really big thing, and I'm not very confident in that considering late game. We'll see. I'll probably be I'll probably be grabbing like a bunch of extra ammo crates and oranges and stuff like that just to make sure that we're fine. We really don't want to be running out late game.
I was going to say he's running on the Wii U right now, and the main reason is pretty much lag.
Yeah. So there are like 2 allowed versions of this game. We actually don't allow emulators, so you can run it on original hardware N64, or you can run it on the Wii U Virtual Console. And the Wii U Virtual Console is like way faster. And there's literally no other version differences. It is just lag. Lag and loading zones, that's it. Because the N64 lags a lot.
Saves way too much time at 100%.
Yeah, 101% of this game is like 6 hours long, and Virtual Console saves like 20 to 30 minutes. In this category, it saves like 7 to 10. The reason there's a range on that is because it's not very definitive, because it's based on lag. It depends on what level you're running at.
Also, what he just did there was he crouched while falling off an edge. And if you crouch while falling in this game, you take literally no damage when falling.
Yeah, it doesn't recognize that you're dropping height at all, so you can just crouch down.
Yeah, speaking of taking damage, we cannot even take damage because we are in this weird glitch called MMM.
Yeah, so another side effect of the intro story glitch we did earlier is basically what the glitch does is the game thinks we're in the main menu. So, and obviously there's no health in the main menu. Also, that is a dance skip.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot of those, taking damage, going into golden bananas to skip the banana dance.
If this is your first time watching this part, you're going to love it.
Yeah. So normally you'd have to collect a bunch of colored bananas to open the door to get to the bosses, but because there's no walls, we can just do that.
Yeah, what's normal in this game?
And it works in every boss room. Yay!
Exactly. So we can technically fight any bosses, any Kongs, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's also like other ways to clip around the room as well.
Yeah, there's like a million ways to clip out of bounds in this game because walls don't exist. You can't go out of bounds if there are no bounds.
Also, we have time for donations during this boss fight if you have any donations, because this boss takes a bit.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Lovely, thank you very much. We have $10 from Hothead Jab, says good luck Xafi, the power crew is watching. And we have $50 from Wonder Crow. I'd like to remind everybody that we have a long-term partner who is ViewSonic Elite. You can see that Xavi is using one of their monitors right now. And you can enter in for the chance to win one of 3 of them. We're currently on the second one, and a minimum $25 donation will get you a chance to win. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you, Jabs. And here's we're gonna give Armadillo a little bit of a kiss here. Because he's so cute.
Yeah.
The point of that, the point of that is to like take damage as early as possible because taking damage makes the rolling phase stop immediately.
You might notice he's actually not taking damage. We didn't talk about that as well.
Yeah. So back to the side effects of ISG. You can't take damage in the main menu, and the really detrimental, the big part is that we cannot pause the game, and the game does not save. So that's gonna be a big thing. I'm gonna be making save states across the run to like avoid soft locks places and potential virtual console crashes, which happen every now and then. To like not have the run die halfway through without any way of recovery. I'm probably gonna be making one after this level.
It's actually one of the nice things about running on Wii U VCs, the ability to practice using save states and you know.
Hello.
Having save states in general is just amazing.
Excuse me.
It's just another roll we're skipping.
Best torch in the game, by the way.
Yeah, so that's a void out. Because we cannot pause, we cannot use the pause menu to exit levels. So we have to find more creative ways to exit levels quickly. So if you go far enough out of bounds, you hit a void zone. You're like outside the map, and the game just sends you back to the level entrance. So that's really useful.
I love how every time you enter there, it's like, oh, got a nice little hymn.
Yeah. What was I talking about? I've been talking about like 5 things simultaneously right now. Okay, yeah, so about the, no saving. So that leaves a little bit of a restriction in the route, because in the very last level there's a room which we normally would be locked in. But if like, so there are two ways around that because the game doesn't say we can't just like exit out. So there are 2 ways around that. The sort of beginner route is called 40 blueprints, and basically you gather all the blueprints from the Kasplats mentioned earlier, and once you turn them into snides for golden bananas, it unlocks the snides like minigame menu. So by entering a snides minigame, for some reason the game now realizes you're not in the main menu anymore. Congratulations, game, you did something right. And that way we can save again, so we can just hard reset the console or the game from that room. But I'm going to be doing a faster route called Helm Escape, which means we're going to be doing an out-of-bounds, a fairly difficult out-of-bounds clip once we get there, to just like void out of Helm.
I just want to mention something about differences in versions as well, is because the N64 lags a lot more. Lag is a very interesting factor in this game, where you can abuse lag to do clips, and you can use it for some reason this game has like weird momentum, where if the game lags, you go further and you stay in the air for longer.
Yeah, because the game like makes your character go faster when the game lags. So that's why you probably like as a kid might not notice the game is lagging a lot, even though it is. It's literally running at like 3 FPS most of the time.
And it's kind of funny because like most PAL games do that just to compensate, but
Yeah.
for some reason this game just does it all the time.
Yeah, because it's so laggy. Like you'll notice in some areas, especially in like Creepy Castle, which is like the second to last level, the game lags so much that it lags on Virtual Console. So, yeah.
Well designed.
So on N64 you can do like orange clips by throwing a bunch of orange grenades and generating a bunch of lag to clip through walls.
Speaking of that, there's this cutscene right here. You can literally just skip it by throwing oranges and clipping through a wall.
Yeah. For most of the really useful ones, we have workaround clips for Virtual Console. Helm Escape is one of those. You could orange clip out of Helm, but we're going to be doing another trick. I'm gonna talk about that later. It's a bit complicated. So for now, we're just gonna be gathering things.
I love the sound effects in this game. It's so good.
Yeah, the Kongs make great sounds, and the game just has like incredibly good soundtracks. Shout outs to Grant Kirkhope.
This game was definitely ahead of its time.
Yeah, in terms of certain things.
Yeah, apart from the walls.
Yeah,
It's like everything except hitboxes. There are no hitboxes.
Right, so coming up is one of the biggest glitches in the game. I'm not gonna.
I'm not doing ledge
Actually,
clip.
no, wait, not here. Sorry,
Yeah.
the next temple. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yo, you
this
mean
one.
skew? Okay,
Are you not
yeah.
doing the C up thing?
Yeah, no, I hate ledge clips.
Okay.
I avoid them to death.
Yeah, so there's a trick called a ledge clip in this game where you can walk forward and go into first person, and if you time it perfectly, you can just fall through like any platform basically.
Yeah, I'll talk about that when it comes up. It comes up a couple of times.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, slopes are really bad.
So what was the trick you just did just now?
So basically, because the wall gate is like sloped, it's weaker than a normal wall, which is saying something. So we can just like gather a lot of speed by using a chimpy charge to just clip straight through it. You can also do that with like DK rolls and stuff like that. And certain slopes are weaker than others.
Also, why did you do the O first?
Oh, right.
Can you spell?
Because I
Yeah,
can't spell.
you cannot
Yeah,
spell,
Yeah, you
no.
can't spell.
I never graduated elementary school. That's why I'm still playing this game. Yeah, so the reason I'm doing this is because normally you would have to hit the little diddy switch next to Tiny's cage to activate these switches and like raise a platform to be able to hit them, but you can actually hit them like backwards from top of them. But the K one is not actually active. So by hitting a wrong letter first, the game just assumes that that you hit that there's like something wrong, and the game just didn't register the K, so it just activates all of them, and we can free tiny that way.
Yeah, also, the swing through walls trick actually only works on a certain angled wall in this angled walls in
Yeah.
this game. If you want to care to explain that, it's kind of weird and complicated in a way.
Yeah, it's based on an integer overflow in the camera, so it works within a certain range of directions, like facing directions of the wall.
It's like north, south, east, west, and it
Yeah.
only works on the north walls, for example.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might
Because-
wanna save state here, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a slight soft lock risk here, and there's always the crash risk, so this is a good place to make save states. Normally save states are obviously not allowed in runs, but this is just a marathon safety thing. So, okay, let's see if I can get this, then I can talk about spawn snags. Okay, that can happen. Shoutouts to that can happen. You've just
Shouts to
been-
torches in this game.
Yeah,
my
Torch is
God. Just
pushing
go-
us outside.
Why is there a wall here? Who put a wall in this game? Alright.
Yeah, some of the some of the walls are so well made in this game. You can literally just walk right through them.
Alright, so because I got that, I can talk about this. So that's a spawn snag. Normally you would have to like enter that room and like fight the claptraps to make that golden banana appear. And that golden banana becomes uncollectible after one frame of the room loading. So by going out of bounds and keeping the room unloaded, I can actually just grab that golden banana without having to collect the minigame. But if I ever like turn the camera the wrong way and load the room, I had to like actually do the minigame. Alright, so there's guitar skip, and it actually went really well.
Nice.
So that's like a variant of the ledge clip where there's like 1 pixel.
Oh no.
You voided.
Rip.
Yikes.
That was not intentional.
Yeah, so when you're out of bounds in this game, it's kind of hard to see what you're doing, and like there's lots of void walls, and
Yeah.
kind of gotta be careful. Sometimes it's not always your fault. The
Yeah.
camera kind of sucks.
Yeah, especially on Virtual Console, the lag usually makes the camera more cooperative in going out of bounds with you. On Virtual Console, you'll be seeing the camera get stuck a lot. So if you're running on VC, you have to like learn how to deal with that and just do a bunch of stuff blind, which I clearly haven't done, apparently. So yeah, so this is a variant of the ledge clip we talked about. where like there's a single pixel on this corner here, and by doing a really precise movement here, I can hit that one pixel and just push myself out of bounds. Didn't go nearly as well as the first time. There we go.
Nice.
You can see I clipped through by getting pushed a little bit to the side. Okay, I'm just gonna go super safe here. I don't want that to happen again. There we go.
You have to do this a bunch of times in the run. You just kind of have to know the map and navigate through the bad cameras.
Yeah, there's like you kind of learn to know where your Kong is relative to the screen if you do this enough times, but you still can't see anything, so it only works to an extent, especially with the camera being what it is.
But you don't do statue clip? There's no one for
the face clip. It only saves like 2 seconds in this route, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, there's like a statue you can like 12 through. You just like clip right through it.
Yeah, because walls. I'm just gonna be doing a bunch of cleanup here for a little bit, gathering golden bananas. So if you have any donations, feel free to read out.
Certainly, thank you very much. We have a $101 donation.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
From Anonymous, who just says, smiley face. And just to remind you all, you are watching ESA Summer 2019 on Twitch, where all of the Twitch Prime and subs and cheers will be going towards donation total. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much for that.
That was cool.
Alright, so talking about this, normally when you hit all the gongs and the tower raises, you would have to take the rocket barrel up to fly to this golden banana. But you can actually like hit most of these chimpy charge targets backwards, so you can just use that speed to get on top of that tower during the cutscene.
I actually have not watched the pro route in this game. This is my first time watching it.
Yeah, this is like the I'm gonna be doing like the fastest route. This is like the world record route, even though I don't have world record.
But if you want to learn this game, there's loads of good beginner tutorials on YouTube. That's what I learned the game from as well.
Yeah, there are so many different routes of this game in like every category except like any percent. You can make the game as hard or difficult, like as easy or difficult as you want.
I'd say it's a very friendly game to learn.
Yeah, it is really friendly game, and honestly, like a lot of these things are like really satisfying to do, even though they're not super hard. Wow, thank you. So I definitely recommend trying some of these. It's really fun to just mess around in this game, like doing moon kicks and swimming through walls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
definitely recommend it. And even to PAL runners, even like if you have the PAL copy of this game, there's still a ton of glitches. Like it's definitely not glitchless. It's basically just a swim through vertical walls glitch that doesn't work, plus some really minor things. I'll be mentioning those as we go, but it's like mostly that. So, but simply because of that, the route is like way slower. Also, PAL runs on slower frame rate, obviously, and JP doesn't have text skipping for some reason.
Does PAL lag more because of the frame rate?
It doesn't lag. It technically lags less.
Okay.
Because it has less frames to render, but it constantly runs on 5 less frames per second.
Ugh.
Your movement speed isn't much affected because it's scaled with the frame rate, but every cutscene is slower and so on. So, and all the enemies move slower, which makes boss fights incredibly tedious.
Also, if you're like new to this game, the boss fights are so easy because you have infinite health.
Yeah, you really can't die. You can lose a lot of time, but you can't die. Except in the castle boss, because it's not based on health, it's based on dumping Kongs, but we'll talk about that. Alright, so here's a trick called banana push, because we use a banana to push ourselves out of bounds.
This trick is surprisingly really easy.
To like get ourselves to this bonus barrel.
You just gotta go on the roof, go to a certain point, turn around and jump and attack, and that's it.
Yeah, because it's so close to the wall, it's just like you can just fall into a little bit of a gap there, where you actually can't fit. So, if you play this game casually, you might remember there's a ton of these bonus barrels, but most of them are really, really slow.
Oh, no. The face bomb.
My god.
Like this one.
I was gonna say monk ass, and you go anyway.
Yeah. Alright. I blame fatigue.
Mini games are hard, dude.
Also, I blame Abayo. Shoutouts to Abayo on the French restream. I blame him for everything that goes wrong in this run.
Why?
Because he's Abayo.
Yeah.
That was kind of close again.
No.
Nah, we're fine. Alright, so here's another dance skip. Hopefully I can get it. So a lot of the time we're going to be doing these dance skips using oranges. Damn it.
Damn it.
That's one. That's kind of hard because you actually have to jump into it because the banana is so high off the ground.
I didn't know you could skip that one.
Yeah, you can skip most, but a lot of the setups are too slow to be worth it because it only saves like 4 or 5 seconds because the dance is not that long.
Also, another small thing about this game, you might notice he's like rolling around a lot. Every character has like different movement traits, and it's kind of good to actually know what's faster for each Kong in this game if you're gonna run it.
Yeah. So DK is by far the fastest Kong on land because his roll is like really fast. On Diddy, the fastest form of movement is doing a cartwheel and jumping out of it immediately and doing an aerial attack, so it's kind of complicated. On every other Kong, the fastest form of movement is just long jumping.
Also, fun fact about this temple, there's multiple ways of clipping into it. The most common one is like you clip onto the roof and roll through the roof as well.
Yeah.
But he just went under it.
All right, so sadly, we'll have to free Lasagna Kong.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Sadly.
You don't like him?
No. There's a good reason why there's a meme category called NLino Lanky, which is this category except you never free Lanky.
Alright, so one thing you might notice right now is he was walking on the ground by the water out of bounds, and this allows him to take out his gun in the water and do a trick called skew. This trick is pretty broken.
All right, so here's the like be-all end-all reason why this is the game without walls.
Yeah.
So it also looks really funny.
Yeah.
Remember walls? I don't.
Literally.
There we go, another dance skip, and we can just like, because of how the hitbox is aligned, like right at the front of the Kong is just a like vertical plane. So by turning that horizontal, we can just like ignore any wall collision that may or may not have existed.
Rip moon kick.
Yeah.
Bad thing, we just cannot jump.
Yeah. So this, so we're gonna be keeping this skew state for most of Llama Temple. We can tag Kongs, we can take banana warps, anything like that. But the things we cannot do that would lose us the state is we cannot do a normal jump. For some reason, we can backflip, we can long jump, but we can't do a normal jump off the ground. No one knows why. We also cannot enter water because your angle is freed into water, and it will also reset on any loading zone.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of the easiest glitches to lose. Just by one button press or one mistake, you can just lose this state. And for example, if we lost the state now, he'd be stuck in this room.
No, the door doesn't have any collision.
Oh, yeah,
on
there's no
this
collision on the other side, that's
Yeah.
right. But in general, you don't want to lose it because it just saves so much time.
Yeah. It's one of the things that is really... Whoa. Way too far left. So this is one of the things that like new runners struggle with the most because it's really hard to just fight the instinct of jumping out of things. Like if you hit a slope, for example, the first reaction is to jump out of it, and then you just lose skew, and then you hate everything.
Yeah, when I ran this for the first time, I kept jumping every time I hit an edge. I was like panicking.
Exactly. It takes a lot of just practice to get out of that habit. And it still sometimes happens because there's stuff like fake long jumps that can happen, where if you drop your long jump inputs too early, you just actually hear the long jump sound, but the jump doesn't happen, and it just counts it as an A input, and you lose skew just randomly on ground.
Yeah,
it looks really stupid.
You need to like press Z, wait a tiny bit, then press A.
Also, shoutouts to Ponytail Twirler and skew. I'm a horizontal helicopter. Alright, so we're gonna be using the skew to clip through this wall and void out. That's all of Angry Aztec. And, yeah. Oh, except for the void on guitar skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sad we didn't see moon kick and skew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you can still, because you can jump out of certain B moves, like rolling, you can still do moon kicking on slopes while skewed, and it looks really funny. And it actually does save time there, I just missed it. We're going to be seeing a lot of skew later on, so keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, like the amount of time we actually spent doing intentional game mechanics is like none.
Coming up is Factory, I believe.
Yes.
And Factory is one of the more complicated levels.
Yeah, it's I'd say the hardest level in this category at least. It contains the hardest trick in the run.
Probably the hardest boss to deal with as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe excluding K. Rool, but K. Rool is just long. But yeah. So a lot of like PB attempts don't like. This isn't a run until it's at a factory kind of thing. Yeah, but even though we open the door, we still don't want to climb up the intended way, like just taking back flipping and going around these ramps. We're just gonna make use of the fact that we already have monkey port and port up here. Grab this golden banana while we're at it. So hopefully I can get another dance skip here. That should be good. So there's another way of getting dance skips in this game where if you're high enough off the ground, the game won't put you. Okay, I wasn't off the edge. So you want to be like off the edge there because the game won't put you in the banana dance if you're too high off the ground because you just fall to your death kind of thing. Alright, so we'll just drop from here to this pipe apparently and the factory. Alright. And here's our here's our next encounter with Lasagna Kong. And factory will really showcase why we don't like this Kong. Like Lanky has all of the worst things, like all of the worst missions, all of the worst mini games.
Yeah.
The worst tricks.
So you're gonna see why we're lanky right away now.
Yeah,
so.
It's not as bad in this, but if you ever watch a 101% category, it's just awful. Also, that long jump is frame perfect. So good start. Yeah. So this is called robot push because we're gonna use the robot to to push us out of bounds. So we're gonna bait this robot. His name is Ricardo. And we're going to bait him to this corner, and hopefully he'll do like a biting attack like that when we're close enough to the wall. So he'll make the space between the wall and himself small enough to push us out of bounds.
This guy has notoriously annoying AI to deal with. You're going to manipulate him the right way.
Yeah, because we're kind of out of his normal aggro range. We just have to like have him by chance walk in that direction when he's out of like aggro range. And he can just like slap you, and slapping rarely works to clip you out of bounds. Come on.
This is like one of the most annoying things in the whole run, in my opinion.
Yeah, on N64 you can do an orange clip.
Oh, he clipped you and he clipped you back in.
Yeah, you can clip out of bounds by just him walking at you. Oh my god, come on. Yeah, or by him slapping because it's just based on the hitboxes. There we go.
Yeah, so on N64 you can just use oranges to clip through this wall, which is way more friendly. But
yeah, it's much easier and 100% consistent.
Yeah, but it doesn't work on Virtual Console because no lag. Or it technically works, but it's like stupid.
Yeah. What's nice about the bananas in this game is during a dark room you can see the bananas in the distance, and that was kind of like a guiding light.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Nice cancel.
Yeah. So we just grabbed. Lanky's production room golden banana there. For some reason, even though the switches exist to like spawn those golden bananas, Tiny's and Lanky's are already there. The switches are only to show where they are. But for some reason, Diddy's isn't there. We actually need to spawn Diddy's. But the main reason we did that out of bounds is to grab Warp 4 for later, so we don't need to climb all the way up there when we're doing production room. All right, so here's our last Kong. Free my boy.
I was gonna say you should have done a donation goal for the Donkey Kong arcade machine.
Oh no.
Please,
Doing arcade skip is technically faster for no levels early by like 3 seconds on first try.
Only 3 seconds?
Yeah, that's why no one does it.
It's actually not bad.
It's faster, dude.
On first try, Orang Stand, TBS, and perfect navigation, yeah, not happening.
Nice.
There's another dance skip. Wait, I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing.
Tiny clip?
Yeah, Mad Jack.
Okay, Mad Jack. Yeah, I'm tired, and I've been running 101% a lot lately, so yeah.
Which is probably the most fun category.
Yeah, except it's has all the fun content. It's just really long. So here's ledge clipping, because no other Kong than DK can obviously do a moon kick, and we want to fight this boss as Tiny.
You trying to unbuff it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get up the ledge. This trick is horrible. I hate this trick.
Yeah,
and he hates me.
So you gotta tap the direction and press C up at the right time.
Yeah,
I do it facing downwards. Everyone has different preference. You can do it facing left.
Yeah, because you just like have to hit
nice. I'm buffing.
Yeah, you just have to hit the pixel. It's a pixel perfect trick, technically speaking. And you also have to be facing a certain angle so the Kong's hitbox is actually out of bounds. Alright, so here's Mad Jack. This is the hardest boss in the entire game to do optimally. It's hard to beat as well. And there's gonna be a lot going on here. Well, of course I get the worst possible RNG. So these switch spawns are random. We'll be hoping to get the switches as close to us as possible. To like not have to waste a lot of time getting to them. So what is going to be happening is we're going to be trying to make Majak jump as fast as possible. Like Majak has 2 modes of movement. He has fast jumps and slow jumps. And because he does a set amount of jumps every phase, we're going to be trying to manipulate him to doing fast jumps, which means we're going to be trying to be more than 1 space away from him at all times. Or as much as possible. Oh, nice feint. Yeah, so in the first 3 phases, we're just going to be jumping diagonally to him because we can jump as fast as him.
Also, another nice thing about this fight, like if you're quite new, you can also do like a slide jump off the edge, and you can like counter the slide jump mid-air, and it makes the jumps a lot easier if you want to do that.
Yeah, like that. You can just gain a bunch of extra height to have some more leniency. Alright, so here's 4th phase. So Majak's movement will change a little bit. I'll be going for the fast strats here, so we can see if I can pull it off. So I'm going to be doing like these back and forth jumps a little bit to like make him jump as many fast jumps as possible, because in 4th and 5th phase he can actually jump back to the square he came from. Oh, that was already the phase. Oh, we get the cutscene skip. Pog. Here's some of the cutscene overlap.
Very nice.
Good job. Great RNG.
Yeah, that's kind of luck based. Like when he first shoots a laser, he plays the small cutscene, and if we get to hit, like he only plays it when we land on a platform. So if we can reach the switch and activate the damaging cutscene first, we can overlap it. So in 5th phase he turns it invisible, but it doesn't really affect anything.
I mean, you can still see the sparkles, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He's on blue, right?
Hopefully.
Nice camera.
Oh.
Shut us to hitting the switch.
Yeah, that can happen. That happens to everyone at some point.
When you first run the game.
Yeah, that happens. That happens every now and then when you're trying to go fast.
Yeah, also this boss sucks way more on N64, since the game lags much more.
Yeah, you want to like, on Nintendo 64 you have to be really careful on just keeping the camera faced away from Majak to like reduce as much lag as possible. Oh, hello.
Oh, wow.
I was going too fast. What is he on? He's on blue. There. So there are always 2 switches that spawn. One on blue and one on white, and I have to hit the one that is on the same color as he is. Otherwise, I'll hit myself with this laser. All right, so there's Majak. Glad to have that over with.
So one thing you might notice is there's like a camera icon in the bottom right, and you can like turn it off by pressing R, and generally you can use that just to reduce lag in like most boss rooms in the game.
Yeah, so the camera icon basically means that the camera angle is locked to like a default thing. Usually in boss fights it means it's facing the boss, but in certain rooms like this you can't actually turn the lock camera off, it's just like in a certain angle. And in certain rooms it's absolutely awful. Alright, so we're going to be making another save state here to avoid another soft lock risks.
Yeah, and soft locks in this game end your run straight up because you have the intro story glitch activated. You can't even pause the game.
Yeah, you can't pause. You can't like pause exit, and you can't, and the game doesn't save, so you can't just like reset the console and load the file because there's literally no save data.
It's pretty punishing, but you can pretty much avoid most soft locks in this game.
Yeah, like all soft locks are usually avoidable. The thing that I'm really scared of is the virtual console crashing because it can do that completely randomly.
Shouts to VC.
Yeah, when I first like started running on Wii U, I got like an abnormal amount of virtual console crashes. Like the normal amount is maybe like 1 in a month or 2 if you run this game daily.
And you got
I got like 4. I got 4
day.
in like the first week.
Nice. See, what he did there was he just slide jump again on the slope like earlier, and
yeah, because the seams are not solid, and I can D-trans to like become big tiny again. Oh crap.
And that walks out of bounds because
Yeah.
the game doesn't figure in the pipe anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's no wall, so he just clipped right into the main room and factory.
Yeah, we get to this block tower room. We're gonna be grabbing our boy Chunky for the first time
That's
to
punch.
grab to grab this splat. So we're gonna be killing all of Chunky's splats with his gun because Chunky's gun is really powerful. Chunky's gun deals 3 damage, DDs and DKs deal 2, and Lankies and Tinies will be dealing 1. So we won't be killing any of Lankies or Tinies with their guns, at least hopefully. But yeah, you only take 5 pineapple shots to kill like a splat, so it can look really funny sometimes.
Do you hate the slot minigame?
Yeah, this is completely luck-based.
I get so impatient with this. Like in my first casual playthrough, I just pause buffered it because I hate it.
Yeah, the later ones go way faster and they can have really bad hit detection. But this one is kind of easy. It's just like luck.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get something like over 20 on the in-game timer, but this looks pretty bad.
That's
20,
alright.
yeah, 20 is like average. All right, so we're gonna be doing. This is like okay. So coming up is like the hardest trick in the entire run, and it is in fact so hard that it is only me and Kiwi, the world record holder, who do it. Who's Kiwi? So, okay. First, we're gonna go grab Lanky's splat, his blueprint, and we're gonna be turning the camera in a very specific way because we're gonna be doing another spawn snag. So we want to keep the piano game room unloaded.
That's good, John.
Yeah. So what I did there was a skid jump. I'm going to be doing a bunch of more of those in just a sec. So if you jump on the very next frame after you enter a skid, which is the state when you like turn rapidly, you can, if you jump on the very frame after, you do a skid jump, and you can do like that allows you to do actions while in the air because the game still thinks you're on the ground. So here I'm going to be trying to enter a rank stand on the very frame that I entered this tag barrel.
This is pretty much breaking the game really badly.
Yeah, this is like one of the biggest glitches in the game, and it's brutally underused because it's so hard to pull off.
And it also makes any percent possible as well.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. So that's the piano game, GB.
Nice.
So that's like the hardest trick in the entire run. Contender for hardest trick in the entire game. There's a harder version of that for Rabbit Race later on, or which in like 101%, which is not in this run, but that's like. So what happened there is by entering a rank stand on the very frame that I entered the tag barrel, I gain control while in the tag barrel. So that does 2 things. First of all, or 3 things rather. It allows me to tag DK right afterwards because I'm still in the tag barrel. It keeps the camera locked in place so that I don't load the piano game GB. Because like I explained earlier, if I load the room, the golden banana will become uncollectible. And the third thing I did, because I specifically used a rank stand, and I hold Z through all of that, it gives me a state called no clip, which lets me just walk through walls straight up. So by keeping no clip, we can go navigate to the room. We do like a blind navigation there based on the sounds that Linky makes while walking in a rank stand. And just grab the golden banana from out of bounds.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. And there's like, the reason why nobody does that in runs is because it only saves 30 seconds in a 2-hour run, and it's really hard to do. But there's also a risk of loading the room while they go to get his blueprint if you don't keep track of your camera angles. Like, you want to have the camera always facing away from the room. Alright, so here's Dark Room. Normally you would have to hit that switch over there to make the platforms move, and to break this box by hitting a switch on the other side.
Yeah,
we can just do another skid jump and grab this ledge and grab the golden banana to the box.
Didn't know you could do it from that side, actually.
You can do it from both sides. You can actually not do that on Japanese version. It has the same sort of spawn snag mechanic where the golden banana becomes uncollectible after you load the room.
So does he like grab the banana with his hand, right?
Yeah, because his hitbox like extends into the box.
This is the worst banana in the game on N64. It lags so badly when you're trying to get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here's a bunch of platforming and
Hopefully not falling down.
yeah, so platforming is actually pretty bad in this game because your movement options are fairly limited. And we're also going to be dealing with virtual console controls. So for anyone at the event who's played Street Boys, that's a lot of you. You know how bad the lines are, where you can't run straight. That's basically how this game controls on virtual console. Like, there are no straight lines. I'm constantly adjusting my joystick angles to like be able to kind of run straight. So it like if you ever tried using this, like some of this might seem very impressive. Most of you won't even mind. But it's actually like a constant struggle of trying to go straight.
This is kind of like the cleanup section of the factory, just like getting the rest of the bananas real quick.
Yeah. So we spawned that earlier, and now we just like clean up production room, and then we're just gonna be getting DK's blueprint. We're going to be getting most of the blueprints, but thankfully, because we don't do the 40 blueprints route, we can skip the like slowest ones. I think we're getting 34 in this route out of 40. Or 32, I think. Never mind. Yeah, there's the blueprint, and we're going to be doing Crusher Room, and we're going to be voiding out from here.
This room's great.
Also, shout-outs to Walls.
Yeah.
Casually just walking through, you know?
Yep. So that clip was actually found by a Let's Player. I can't remember his name. It was like a while back. But he was just like randomly walking into that wall and just happened to clip through. And it's actually really useful. We could just take Strong Kong and navigate these, but that's like way faster. And now we can use this to clip out of bounds and void out so we can get to the entrance of the level again.
It's like the same with the torch or the bush. It just pushes us
Yeah.
outside.
So that's factory. That's 3 levels down and 5 to go.
Oh my god, the switch worked first try.
Yeah.
It's my favorite phrase when you run this game. I can't believe the switch worked.
You can sometimes just end up slapping the switch up a couple of times because they have terrible hit detection, just like everything in this game. So here we're gonna like put the camera in a specific angle and stand at a very specific spot on the pad to hopefully have this banana drop on us. Nope.
Trolled.
Yeah. A lot of these instrument pad GBs you want to be like having dropped on you, so we don't have to watch the entire cutscene of that and like save a little bit of time.
Kind of similar to Banjo-Kazooie, where you want the jiggy to spawn you during the cutscene skip.
Yeah.
To get the cutscene skip, sorry. During the actual like other cutscene.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna be abusing Chunky's overpowered gun here a little bit and killing Tiny's Kasplat with that.
Why do I never think of bad runner?
A lot of people don't do that simply because the blueprint despawns pretty fast.
Ah.
Yeah, I did it once in a while.
And it doesn't say, it saves like a second.
I don't do it anymore ever since.
Alright. So we're going to be doing our only little piece of backtracking here to go back to Jungle Japes to grab a bunch of fast golden bananas. Now that we have all the Kongs unlocked. It's a personal pet peeve of mine where a lot of people just like talk crap about this game being a really backtrack heavy, when actually like the only backtracking you do is to these first 2 levels when you unlock all the Kongs, and then there's one pesky golden banana in Fungi Forest, the rabbit race, which you need a move from a later level to do. That's like all the backtracking in this game. So yeah.
Oh, fun fact, that rock, if it's like barely scraping the switch, it doesn't work. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's not just blocking the pad, it actually deactivates the pad for some reason. Also, there's a fun interaction with those instrument pads. Technically, I don't have any instrument power right now, but if I'm on the pad, it still lets me play my instrument. And it does that even if I'm on the edge of the pad, even though it doesn't actually do the effect of the pad.
Time to have some fun.
Alright, so gonna be swimming through this wall again.
Japes 2,
Jump out of the out of bounds water. Jump out of the out of bounds water. Jump out of the out of bounds water.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
that way.
Yeah. It's like,
And-
this is probably one of the more fun parts of the run when you're learning it.
Yeah, pull out the gun, go back out of the water, and face up and enter first person, and we're skewed again. Oh, I forgot the strat. I was supposed to do the other strat. Whatever. And we're gonna have to backflip into this cage to gain height. So the way out of bounds height works in this game is that whenever you're out of bounds, your floor height is the same as the floor height of wherever you were inbounds last time. So since we went out of bounds in the water floor is the out of bounds height. So that's why we need to enter the cage there.
It's also one of the worst cameras in the game right there. Rip skew.
I'm not gonna go for that
Even
again.
risky.
Yeah, there's
Pretty
that
I've
jump.
not seen that jump.
Yeah, that jump is a little bit tight on VC, and if you miss it, you fall into the water and lose Q. So
Yeah, it's actually super free on N64.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what he was saying before with the cage, he needs to use basically the cage here to get the vertical height. You need to slowly climb vertically to get back in balance. What he did that time, which was different to the first time, was he started his skew inside the cage.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. I
Yeah,
just
which is
forgot
a lot
to do it.
faster.
But it also like restricts your. Oh my. Okay, yeah, it still works. Good.
Why was the wall working for a second?
Yeah, because I don't have a perfect skew.
Oh yeah, you're like slightly angled up.
Yeah, the downside of that strat is that I don't have unlimited space in the water to like dive, because the water level changes. So I kind of have to like do a half skew kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll surface, and if I surface I can't do it. But it still works, which is the main thing. Alright, so we're gonna get another splat here. And we're gonna be cleaning up a bunch of the like caged golden bananas using skew here. So in the meantime, if you have any donations, feel free to read out.
I was scared there for a sec.
It works.
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind everybody that we have a new partner this year, which is the Yeti. The Yeti has a special line of ESA merchandise, which is free shirts and a pin, where $5 per shirt and $4 per pin go to charity. Check out their awesome ESA selection and their other gaming items at www.theyeti.com/ESA. I'd like to remind everybody that we are raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. The Alzheimer's Foundation supports all types of research on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia diseases. And if you do a minimum $50 donation, you can enter in for the chance to win a Nintendo Switch bundled with Super Mario Maker 2. So let's get those donations in.
Oh.
It worked. It looked like it wouldn't work.
Just bounced everywhere.
Yeah.
So luckily that banana there has collision. You can just go right on top of it.
Yeah, like normally you would have to go all the way to like the other area with Cranky and use Ramby to hit some huts and then hit a switch as the Kong, and it opens this cage for a certain amount of time.
There we go.
So you can get here, but
First
that
try.
is really slow. Yeah, sadly we won't be seeing Ramby at all. So a big criticism of this game compared to like the Donkey Kong Country games, that the animal buddies are criminally underused. Like we have 1 instance of Ramby in the entire game and 2 instances of On Guard.
Oh, by the way, he was doing the handstand thing there to not lose skew.
Yeah.
It's one of the mistakes when you first run this game. Like I said, you panic when you fall off a slope and you lose it. So he's going to be using handstand just for those specific slopes.
Yeah, but you can jump in a rank stand for some reason. All right, so here's the most broken game in the here's the most broken room in the most broken game. I think there's like 19 ways to clip out of bounds here. This should be the fastest one if I can get it to work. So I can do another skid jump and a long jump into this wall, which is suddenly there. Who put a wall in this game?
No one.
All right, so by clipping out of bounds, we can just grab this golden banana without having to do the mini game.
The most common one is you just clip for the roof, but it can be really finicky.
Yeah. It's also slower.
Yeah.
It would have been faster than what I just did, like if I considering all the failed attempts, but it's whatever. Gonna grab a bunch of ammo here for safety.
Now heading to the hardest minigame in this game.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people don't know, in ropes in this game, you can just mash A, and it will go the right direction.
Yeah, like the first direction the line swings in is the direction you're facing when you grab it. So if you're facing the direction you want to go in, you can just mash A and it will always swing for that direction first, and you can just grab the next one.
Oh.
But mines also have terrible hitboxes sometimes.
They do.
Just like everything in this
Especially
game.
when you have to reset the intra-story glitch just because the grid doesn't grab the vine.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Alright, here's another semi-hard dance skip. And Linky won't jump because Linky sucks. Alright.
It's kind of funny you don't like Lanky because most casuals love Lanky.
Yeah, he has a funny face, but he's useless.
Yeah, even the DK rep walks
Like,
in.
this is not me being biased. Like, literally everyone who actually runs this game hates this Kong. Because, like I said, he is bad at everything. He has the most terrible hitbox. He has the worst jump animation. He has the worst minigames.
He says hopla.
Yeah, he's a flaw. He's funny. He's like the comic relief. except he's not funny.
So we just swam into the loading zone below the cracked floor.
Yeah. So the loading, you'd hit the like kind of, I don't know what it's called, like the lid of the underground thing. You have to like ground pound it to make it disappear, and you can fall in. But the loading zone is always there, so you can just swim through walls into it. That's another cutscene overlap, slight one. And we're gonna be using Chunky's gun to kill the Splat from afar, or almost.
Or not.
Or
You gotta
not.
respect this guy.
Damn.
He can easily knock you off.
Oh, dude, I love when you grab this banana here and you just fly into space.
Yeah, sometimes you still hold on to the vine and you just float away.
So good.
During the banana dance. We're gonna death warp here, exit underground, grab another fast golden banana here, and we're gonna be abusing the beavers again to not dance, because we all know that you don't dance in the vicinity of beavers. I have no clue what I'm referring to.
I don't know either.
Alright, so that's Japes 2. So that's all the backtracking we're going to do. After this is just like going through all the levels in order. So next up is Gloomy Galleon, which is the notorious water level. For some of you might have noticed, there's a common theme with old platformer / collectathon games, where there's always has to be a water level, and the water level is always terrible.
They always suck, yeah.
Especially in this game.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why that is.
My first playthrough, I was like, why is this in the game?
But the good part about that is, like, if you might remember, walls don't exist in water. So in a level full of water, you can do whatever you want.
As long as the wall's the right direction.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that's actually nice about this game is you can actually swim fast. And swimming is actually super fast in this game for some reason.
Yeah, swimming is actually faster than any movement on land, which is a bit unfortunate because swimming controls are a bit finicky.
A bit.
And the only thing that Lanky's actually good at is swimming. He's actually the fastest Kong in water by a very, very slight margin, but he is. All right.
This level notoriously has some of the most annoying jumps. There's like a water-specific high one, for example. It's just awful.
I'm not gonna be doing that.
Okay, that's
Thankfully.
good.
Yeah.
Thankfully it's only
So
the
you can
40%
change the water height in this level, and you can actually like 101% this level on high water, or 100% it, I guess.
Yeah.
You can like collect everything while the water is on high level. So
It's really hard.
sadly, the game is actually on like low water by default, so we actually have to get there to raise the level first. I am really bad at these dance skips today. I'm just wasting oranges. It's whatever.
They're made to be wasted.
Yeah. Consumption items. Alright. So we're just gonna take a little bit of a detour here to grab this warp fillator. There's a little bit of a route defect, which we have to do sadly. And we're gonna be doing another form of skew here, called cannon interruption skew. So we're gonna be trying to hit ourselves with an orange as we enter this cannon. Almost. That was a little bit too late. It's a pretty finicky timing. That was too early. Why is it like the orange is bouncing in a weird way? I can't time that. Come on. Bad muscle memory.
I blame him, Bio.
I blame Bio.
Some of the tricks in this game are pretty tight.
Yeah, this is a bit finicky. I usually don't struggle quite this much with it. There we go.
Very good, nice.
Alright, so this is actually just half of this trick we're going to use, because you might also notice we're skewed the other way around. We're facing downwards, which looks funnier, but it's kind of worse because we have to clip through walls backwards because their head actually has a hitbox, but their feet kind of don't. Oh, crap.
I've not seen this once. This is great.
Keep the room loaded, you dingus.
The
Okay.
thing is, we cannot just walk backwards, so we have to jump. But since we cannot jump like from the land, we have to pull out our gun.
Yeah.
Since for some weird reason we can jump.
Alright. So here goes. You can see the GB sparkles. That is the canon game Golden Banana.
Shoutouts to old games having the water out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's like flat water.
Because it's like a plane, so it has to extend a little bit.
Just lazy.
Yeah, the void zone is actually pretty tight there, so that's actually kind of difficult. But yeah, we did another spawn snag, so we don't need to finish the cannon game by grabbing that from out of bounds. And yeah, walls really do not exist. And we're going to be raising the water level very shortly here. And we're going to be doing a quick blueprint turn in here. We would normally want to avoid doing those early on because it always plays a little bit of a cutscene when we start turning in blueprints for golden bananas. But we kind of have to turn them in here to have enough golden bananas to enter the next level. If they're it's actually kind of unfortunate because we're going to be entering Fungi Forest with 53 golden bananas and we turn in 4 blueprints here. So if there was like one more somewhat fast golden banana in the early game, we could skip this entirely and save like 15 seconds on this, but
You have like any donations or sponsor stuff you want to throw out? We've got a bit of time here.
yeah.
Certainly, thank you very much. I would like to shout out the place where we are actually doing ESA Summer 19, which is Malmö City. Malmö City is the host of our event, and they've supported our event for 2 years now, and thank you for making us feel at home. As well as Western Digital Black, and Western Digital Black is a returning partner of ours as well. Western Digital Black NVMe SSDs provide the speed that we speedrunners need. Thank you all for the support.
Thank you very much. All right. Thankfully, talking over their old bananas. Since we're going to be hearing a lot of those. The sort of a little bit of a side effect of turning in a lot of blueprints at once is just like the golden bananas just spawn one by one. All right. All right. So here's like maybe the second hardest boss in the game, Pufftoss. And we're going to be doing it as chunky. Normally you do this as lanky, but again, we don't have bananas, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to be using chunky for routing convenience. So the reason for these C-ups is basically to like kill my momentum dead in its tracks. Like hit the pixel. Come on. Nope.
Nope.
You can kind of see his other arm is gonna clip in to the wall if I get it.
I hate ledge clips so much.
There we go.
I don't think they're
Nice.
that bad. We
All
kind of
right.
do the same thing in OT when we like press down and B into a blue warp, so it's like the same thing for me.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Loading zone. Hello. Loading zone. There we go. So you can see like the intro cutscenes don't play because we watched them during the intro story. So we can just instantly start the boss fight. We actually skipped Shapes and Caves because those are really short and we can't fit all of them into that 4-minute window. So for this boss, the places where the stars spawn is actually a set pattern. So I just kind of have to memorize where they spawn to like make it to them as fast as possible.
Like learning how to do this boss fight, you can save a lot of time doing this like efficiently.
Yeah, I can see a lot of new runners spend like 3.5, 4 minutes on this, and world record is like 1:40.
That's me. I suck.
I'm actually 1 second, like I'm a half a second off world record on this boss. Like makes me sad.
Oh. Gotta get that perfect line, dude.
The lines. There we go. So the developers are actually really sneaky with these stars. Sometimes they just spawn right next to the previous one, but there's a slight delay, so you won't see it spawn there.
Like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just gotta know where it is. And this one is actually in the very same place. Alright, so I think that will work. Yeah, it looks like it'll work. Maybe a little bit short. So I try to like gain a little bit of speed and accelerate towards the middle. So as the key spawns here, if I did that well. I should be right under it so I can grab it during this cutscene and save a little bit of time. Oh, wow. That was like 2 pixels off or something. Something really stupid. Alright, so because we did the boss, this portal will disappear, but its hitbox is still there. So we can use it to clip out of bounds here.
This is actually one of the more annoying out of bounds, because it's released the void to your right. So you just want to barely hug the wall here, so you don't void out.
Yeah, void zones in this level are, for some reason, really tight.
I love this wall.
Whee! Alright.
Now we got to kind of do like a collecting section here as well.
Yeah, just gonna grab this real quick.
Ooh,
Oh,
he got
This
you.
guy is so lovely.
Yeah, some people opt to like just stand on the platform below and just shoot him with the pineapples. Oh,
I would love to see something, game. Thank you. Alright. So yeah, it's a little bit finicky shooting things, shooting splat switch chunky on small platforms like that, but it's really fast, so you still want to do it.
Normally this level's like super tedious, and you're just like hitting switches non-stop to go in these doors.
Yeah, you have to like change between water levels to reach instrument pads to open these gates, but I mean, why would you do that?
Yeah, you could just through the wall.
What wall?
What wall?
The gate is not even there.
What gate?
Yeah, you're right.
Alright, so say hello to Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
This
Hi.
guy sucks.
Bye, Patrick.
He hits you sometimes.
Yeah, thankfully he was nice to us. Sometimes he's like in a really grumpy mood and he's just blocking the golden banana and hits you repeatedly.
How many times have you been hit by him before in like in one run?
A lot of times. I can't even remember, because if you get hit once, you get knocked into a weird angle, and because of how the camera angle is in that room, you can't actually see what height you're on, so then you're just looking for the golden banana and he just hits you over and over again. He's like a serial offender. Domestic abuse. Then again, who wouldn't get violent if you break into their home like that?
I wonder why they gave Lanky a bedroom for his thing.
That's a good question.
so we
It's
can
not like
sleep
he'll ever
here.
use it. Oh shit. Yeah. I feel like the developers were really lazy with some of these rooms, just putting a golden banana lying there.
Right, so you're gonna notice the difference in the console version. So on N64 route, because the game lags more, you can just go to the side of the ship and just lag the game like crazy and clip into it.
Yeah, these ships actually have like somewhat solid walls, because there's like 2 layers of walls. One of which you can swim through, and the other one you need like a lag boost to clip through.
Yeah. So like lag pretty much lets you clip through most walls in the game, but because this is Wii U VC, the game lags way less, so you can't do that.
Yeah, so if you were to watch a TAS, or a low TAD as we call it, you can see a lot of orange clips just like everywhere. So low TAD, for those who don't know, stands for low optimized tool assisted demonstration. The reason we don't call it a TAS is because it's impossible to optimize this game. So we basically just do a bunch of like short segments using TAS tools to like do things that are not doable by humans. There's a lot of those, like the whole tag barrel storage thing, which I did to get the piano game Golden Banana earlier, is like double frame perfect and does a bunch of blind navigation, so that is really hard to utilize in real time. But using a TAS, you can just do a lot of things with it, and it looks really, really cool. So I recommend checking those out. The Balam, who is one of our like TAS guys, is the British guy, the only European runner before me, or like top level runner, I guess. He's currently working on a 101% updated low TAD, or a Lombre, if you will. And that should be done sometime in November, I think. So that'll be really hype.
Tesla's always fun to watch, like a showcase.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a lot of work, and it's a long game. And he's been complaining about having to like redo levels a lot, because it's like he does a segment and then we figure out like a different order to do things that saves like 5 seconds, and he needs to redo the whole thing. Shout out to Balam.
Hey, look, a cage. What cage? What wall?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, good camera.
Yeah. So the only function of walls in this game is to block my camera. That's basically what they're for. They're visual objects. Visual obstacles, rather.
If you definitely own this game, you should. The NTC version, you should try this. Just swimming through walls. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so easy. Like, it literally is as easy as it looks. Alright, so we're going to be getting the camera here for later. The 40 blueprints route actually does not do this, but this is also a glitch called swim through shores. This actually does work on PAL, contrary to popular belief. So basically what you do is you just, like, dive and start mashing B to do, like, the dolphin kick. And it, like, clips you through sloped surfaces.
Yeah, just go to the shore, mash B, and you can pretty much just clip through any island.
Yeah, clip through any shore.
Yeah,
Basically.
that also always works on PAL.
Yeah. Going to this island specifically, there's like a invisible wall around this this island in out of bounds, so it's a little bit more difficult. But like on any other shore, it's just the same.
What is the reason you get the ferry camera?
We're gonna be using it for the helm escape trick. I'm gonna talk about it once it comes up. But it's also very useful for shockwaves. So once we have the camera, we can use the shockwave move, and it's really fast for killing the splat, so it saves a bunch of time. But yeah, it's gonna be used for an out of bounds clip later on, which is really useful because like this route is like 2 minutes faster than probably actually more now, but it was like 2 minutes faster than the 40 blueprints route.
I forgot you were showing me the camera clips there.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you later.
Yeah.
It's a bit finicky. That's why this isn't like the beginner route.
That's why I was like, oh, why'd you get the camera?
Yeah.
So confused.
Yeah, because the other route doesn't get it. It's just really convenient. And there's also like a slight backup added benefit there because we can just grab a ferry if we ever run low on resources. Which shouldn't happen, but if you're starting out, then that happens a lot. Like if you don't know the route properly, you're going to be running out of the resources a lot.
Have you ever like run into the cutscene by mistake when doing this? Because you're like trying to go too tight in turn.
Yes, I have.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, so the thing with this is if you go to lower floor, it turns in the key, and after you turn in the key, it like warps you back to the door to a set position. So we're gonna do it at to save a little bit of running at the end. But if you like go and try to cut the corners to the switch or the golden banana like a little too tight and turn it in, you just have to do that entire section again. Alright, so here's gonna be our first appearance of Hunky Chunky. He's not gonna be used a lot, but Hunky Chunky is really, really overpowered.
This part's great.
Yeah, because so Hunky Chunky makes Chunky gigantic, and the developers actually made the movement speed scale with his size. So Hunky Chunky moves really, really fast, and because he moves really fast, he can just jump through walls. We're not going to be seeing a lot of that, but it's used a bunch more in other routes. We're just going to be using him basically because it's required to hit this X.
This is one of the scariest parts when you're new. If you don't understand what you're doing, you can soft lock here really easily.
Or soft lock, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Fuzzy just jumping into this cage on accident on his first run. D-transing because
three runs in a row.
yeah, and D-transing because he didn't know he can get out of that easily with Hunky Chunky, and then he's stuck in that cage, and he has to do like a quadruple frame perfect trick to get out of bounds again because the game doesn't save, so he can't reset out.
It took me 40 minutes. 40
40
minutes to get a quadruple frame perfect trick to get out of it.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the timer, we're like an hour 20 in, so it would have almost been faster for him to just start a new run.
You guys were all bullying me in my chat. All the runners were in my chat laughing at me. It was funny though.
The first time it was like understandable, but like we were just trying to get you to reset because the trick is so hard and nobody wants to do it.
Yeah. So there's a trick in this game called trace walking?
Face walking.
Face walking. So I always forget the name of it, but it's like
yeah.
really ridiculous. It's hard to explain it even.
Yeah. So it's a trick that lets you use the swim through walls thing on land. But because you don't keep the phase state indefinitely like you do when swimming, you have to do an instant acceleration when you exit first person to have enough speed to clip out through the wall in a single frame.
So
And to do that, you have to do like 4 consecutive frame-perfect joystick inputs, and it's really, really
it's
annoying.
like first person, and as soon as you come out first person, you gotta press down, up, Z in like frame by frame perfectly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There are certain runners who are really, really good at that. Like Signakong, who's the world record holder for any percent, is a Japanese runner, and Toyo, another Japanese runner, are really, really good at it. And sort of newer runner called Zmalps is also just really good at it for some reason. Alright, so we're just going to be shooting these switches to spawn the only like teamwork golden banana in the game. So while these, and we're going to be doing another cutscene overlap here. So while this cutscene plays, if you have any donations, feel free to read them out.
Sure, thank you very much. We have a $25 donation from Cindress, who says, I've been watching these marathons for too long without giving, so why not correct that during one of my favourite games of my childhood? Good luck, runners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alright, so this is another cutscene overlap there. We like hit the switch that spawns the golden banana right after we spawn these cannons, and because there's a cutscene that spawns those cannons, it's really delayed, so we just have to wait for them.
But you've never seen that.
Hashtag fake cannon. Alright. So, we're going to be doing Lanky's Dark Room. Some of you might remember that there's like 2 doors that open here. And Dark Room is really, really fast, and it's like right under us here, so we're going to be getting that. It's like one of the fastest rooms in the entire game. It's like they gave Lanky some of the most tedious golden bananas, and then some of these like really pointless, really fast golden bananas where you do nothing. Like, okay, so here goes.
This is one of the worst cameras in the game.
Whee!
Yeah.
And that's the entire room.
So the doors to this room are actual walls.
That room is literally just, can you deal with the camera?
Yeah.
So bad.
Alright, so this is like, we're going to be doing some cool navigation around the mushroom here. It's good to like start at the top and just work our way down like this, so we don't need to like fly up here every time.
Yeah, going down is way faster than going up.
All right, shoutouts to Emo Arbiter. Please control your zinger.
Please, Emo.
Okay, we're good
The
for
bee?
now. Yeah, zingers are the bees in this game. They're called zingers. And there's a runner, or sort of former runner, who still has 3rd place in this category for some reason, called Emo Arbiter, who has a infamous tendency of getting hit by this specific zinger and falling all the way down to the ground and having to climb all the way up. So that is his personal zinger. It's his pet, and he hates him.
Yeah, it hates me too.
It's never happened to me.
Never?
Didn't happen
It
to me,
happens to
no.
me like every second run.
So yeah, we're going to be using a lot of these shockwaves to just kill the splats really quickly. And we're going to be... And here's like a cool out-of-bounds swim to get the rabbit race area without opening the gate. So, right here. It's kind of easy to void here if you go too far out.
You want to use the blue screen there as a kind of a cue to know when you're like transitioning between loading zones.
Yeah, because you can see like as a new area loads, your Kong actually goes invisible, so you know to look for a new area. But sometimes it's just really awkward where the Kong deloads and then you're just like stuck in sort of limbo where no room is actually loaded and then you're just wondering where the heck you are. Alright, so more blueprint turnings coming up. Get your O-bananas ready.
It's crazy how much Fungi Forest is with glitches, like changing the time of day non-stop and all that. It just takes so long casually.
Yeah. There's, in 101% you can actually, like, we won't be turning it tonight here, but in 101%, there's actually only one thing that you can't do during night, and that's the rabbit race. And a couple of months ago, I can't remember how long ago, we actually found a real-time attack, a viable strat for like skipping the entire rabbit race. So basically you do that first thing when you get to Fungi, then you turn it to night and do everything during night. And that trick is probably like the hardest trick we do in runs. Saves like 4 minutes because the rabbit race you have to do twice and it's really, really long. And especially on Virtual Console, it's infamously hard, almost impossible to beat the rabbit the second time because they didn't rescale NPC movement speed at all. So you have to play absolutely perfectly to be able to beat that. If you don't know, like there's a small cheating strat you can do, but like just casually, it's a pain.
One of the best glitches coming up now.
Oh, this is probably the best glitch in the
This is
Yeah.
probably like the best trick in the entire run.
Even though
So
it's- yeah.
I'm just gonna do it and explain it afterwards because this will look really funny.
Just keep your eyes on the game.
Let me just point out, this is the one boss that normally should not be able to be beaten by anyone but Chunky.
Yeah, normally.
So that's the entire boss fight.
Good fight.
Explanation? No.
Yeah. So no one really knows why, but if you place the barrel in a very specific way where the barrel hits Dogadon on the same frame as you get hit, it just triggers the end sequence of this boss fight and just instantly kills him. Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, the really funny part about that is you can actually do that same quick kill in Aztec, like the early level where we fought that guy for the first time. And it actually triggers a different cutscene, but it still gives you key 5. So that is used a lot in certain 101% routes, and actually it's done in all 101% routes.
It's actually the best wall in the game right there. You just walk right through
Yeah,
it.
there's like no wall there. If you're Chunky or DK and you have a big enough hitbox, you can just walk through that. You don't need to do anything. You just walk. That is actually patched on PAL and JP. They moved the walls further apart.
They knew.
Yeah, it was kind of easy to figure out. But yeah, there's a lot of random walls like that. That's just one of the minor patches in the later releases. Alright, so normally for this golden banana, you'd have to like go all the way up to the attic on top of this building and pull a winch
Luckily,
to raise this cage, but we never go into the, even in 101% runs, we never go into that room. So I tend to forget that room exists when we do bingos and stuff. It's kind of awkward. Okay, so here's our next method of doing skew. It's called damage skew. So we're gonna be swimming upwards to set our angle and gonna be hit by this thorn wall from out of bounds, like that, to get skewed. And the only purpose of this is to void out here. There's a sort of soft lock here.
Yeah, it happened to me.
But it's recoverable, so I won't be making a save state right now.
You can lose your skew there, and because the gate's closed, you can't really just walk through it.
Yeah.
So you get kind of stuck in that area.
Yeah, you had to go into the barn and do like an out of bounds clip. Shout outs to DK long jumps.
Shouts to me having to do on a run and having no idea.
Yeah, there's like 2 methods to void out from the barn, but it's kind of finicky and no one ever tells you about it because you're supposed to reset if that happens because it loses so much time.
Yeah, shows to me having to do it in a marathon run and not knowing how to do it.
It's even worse.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
No.
You got stuck?
Yeah.
Rip.
Was it a live marathon or an online one?
It was a live marathon. I was so ashamed.
That sucks.
So luckily we avoided that.
Yeah.
Because I also haven't done that in forever because
I mean,
if
it's
that would
super easy.
I could save you.
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
Yeah, I know. I also know. Like, I know how to do it. It would just maybe take me a little bit, because because like that never happens to me anymore, basically. And even if it did, I would just reset the run there because of the time loss.
I mean, I knew it did exist, and I even knew how to do it. I just couldn't do it for like 10-15 minutes.
Basically, inside the barn, there's like this ceiling and it's sloped. You can just like clip through it, and it's good enough to get back out of bounds and void.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna be opening caves and castle here. So this castle cannon, this is the only level you can't normally enter earlier than intended. So as I was talking about the getting key 2 in key 5 in Aztec, it's actually really useful in 101% runs in certain routes of that, because you can just go into Aztec first thing in the run, get key 5, and open castle, and then you can go into the castle boss and actually unlock all your Kongs that way.
Meme jump incoming.
All right, yeah.
Ugh, this jump.
Yeah. We're going to be doing the jump into Crystal Caves as Chunky. It's not hard, and hence meme jump, because you fail it every now and then for stupid reasons.
It's not hard, but it is hard.
It's not hard, hence it's a meme. There we go.
Let's try. You can just like get stuck in the corner. It's so annoying.
Yeah, because of the camera angle and the wall hitboxes are being weird, and Chunky's hitbox sucks.
It happened to me 3 times in a row when I started. I was so sad.
Yeah, the real meme is doing that with Lanky. Because this jump is terrible.
But it's possible.
It's possible.
Okay.
You kind of want to be skid jumping for that. Okay, so hashtag that can happen. Sometimes, like if the Kasplat shockwaves you, which is completely random, as you're shockwaving it, it becomes invincible for like a fraction of a second. So it can completely block you from killing it like that. And funnily enough, there's a couple of Lanky Kasplats that do that very frequently.
Because Lanky sucks.
I
Yeah.
didn't know the ice was there. Pretty cool way up.
Yeah, you can just backflip on those. It's like that one platform you can stand on. The rest are slippery. Yeah, there you see again. We're going to be dropping the gold bananas on us to save a little bit of time.
4 more bananas.
Yep. All right. So this is probably arguably the hardest, but I'd say the second hardest level in the run. And I know I hated this level as a kid because it's really confusing to navigate, and there's going to be a bunch of falling rocks coming on top of us. So we're hopefully going to be doing everything at a pace where we avoid those. Okay, so that's a gun dive. So you can just slide off a ledge with your guns out and enter first person as you enter the water to not have to exit the water out of bounds and do all that jazz. The downside of that is you need the camera to be able to swim through walls, because if you go into the normal first person, as you can see, you just like get clipped out of that.
Yeah, so right now there's a cutscene about to begin, and generally when you run this game, you want to try make it across before the cutscene begins, because this cutscene can make you fall in the water, and then you lose skew, and it's
yeah, it kills all your momentum, and it's really terrible when it happens.
big mess.
I could have tried to like do a chimpy charge buffer into that to gain a little bit of extra distance, but I didn't want to risk it.
Oh, that's how you do that.
Lose skew
Yeah.
now.
Oh, you should have saved state just in case.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I just do that now in case the crash.
In case we see
You
crash.
really didn't do it.
Yeah, I should have done that earlier, because if you lose skew here, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, that crawl space right there, or tiny space, if you walk through in a really weird way, the cutscene will trigger, but the cutscene doesn't always soft lock you, but there's a chance you just kind of get stuck in it forever. And then you're just watching an animation of Diddy Kong just walking into a cool space over and over. It's not fun.
So skewed rocket barrel.
Yeah, that looks great. Physically,
Because
totally
because you fly upwards if you like trust in front of you for some reason.
Yeah,
Diddy Barrel is so fast.
that's how physics work. Did you know?
All right, so coming up is probably the hardest moon kick in the entire game.
I didn't know you can roll for that door.
Yeah, because you have skew.
Oh yeah. This one's tricky. You kind of gotta like look at the floor.
There we go.
Nice.
Second try. That's really, really good.
Yeah, so like, it's really low to the ground, and when you jump at the top of the moonkick, you need to be facing backwards to land on the platform at the top.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to learn when you're quite new to this game.
And it's a really low edge, and it's a really tight window to aerial attack there. And the camera doesn't help you at all, because the camera is just locked above you, so you can't even see the specific height you're on. So you just gotta kind of have to remember the timing. It can be really finicky sometimes.
It's really not recommendable for new runners.
Yeah, you can just like do that room casually and lose like 20 seconds. It's not that bad. But that makes that room really, really fast.
I find controlling the moonkick really hard in that room more than anything.
Yeah, because you have to like do a jump. You have to do a jump and turn around backwards to be able to land on the ledge, because it's a really tiny ledge.
So a lot of people don't know about this game as well is when you throw oranges, it kind of just like tracks onto enemies. So if you just throw in like the kind of general direction, it will just follow. It will just like kind of move towards them.
I'm gonna be doing this room a little bit slowly just to not accidentally run out of oranges.
That would suck.
Because I'm kind of low. I would need to get a backup golden banana. There's no way to kill these guys without oranges. Because you can't play your instrument in here, and I wouldn't have instrument power anyway. For some reason, some of these rooms that require you to kill enemies actually like let you play the instrument. Some don't. This one is one of the ones that don't for some reason. Alright. Yeah, there's a bunch of fast backups, but it's obviously like a big time loss, and we want to have oranges later on as well. Alright, so fun fact, you can actually charge shockwaves through banana warps.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
So if I just keep holding B through this banana warp, I can just hold this shockwave charge and instantly shockwave as I come here.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's really useful because that Splat can be a real troll sometimes and just shockwave you instantly when you warp there and drop you into the water because it's a lanky Splat and it's an asshole.
It's always something to do with lanky.
It's always lanky.
It's always like
Just a coincidence.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out all these reasons why we hate him. Alright, so coming up, this is probably like the second hardest trick in the run. It would be the hardest for anyone who doesn't do F key snag, which we call the spawn snag for the piano game. The reason it's called F key is because it's a meme that you don't ever press the key F in that piano game. So this trick is called Chunky Gun Skew because we do gun skew as Chunky. So we're going to be doing a little finicky out-of-bounds navigation while skewed, and we're going to be doing a really precise long jump into an ice shield to get the golden banana inside. The real reason we're gonna be using skew is not really to get inside. It's really easy to get into that ice shield but because we can't pause exit, it's really like you can't get out of there. So here. I'm gaining a little bit of extra height for safety. I'm gonna. This is sketchy. All right, so I'm gonna try to load this room by putting the camera inside of it by zooming out. All right. Oh crap.
Oh, camera, please.
All right. Come on, man. Keep the room loaded.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hashtag that can happen.
Run.
Yeah, since you can't see Chunky and you can't see the wall from out of bounds, that's really hard to do, and the room just wouldn't load for some reason. I'm just gonna get a backup golden banana here.
So you normally skip that blueprint instead?
No, you skip this igloo here.
Ah.
I'm gonna get Tiny's igloo.
In one of my runs, I went inside the igloo with the wrong Kong, and I had to clip through the top of the chip, or whatever it's called, the entrance.
That's the wrong one. Fuck.
Oh,
Sorry.
speaking of that, at least this one has a door. One of them doesn't have a door, and you can't go out.
Yeah.
And that was the one I went in. I just like randomly grabbed the top of it, and he clipped out somehow. I was like, yes, my run is saved.
Okay.
There are so many funny self-logs in this game.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you could just do the mini. I think if you just do the mini game as any other Kong. No, because the door opens if you grab the golden banana.
If you grab the banana, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I had to like find a way to clip out of the room.
Yeah, because you can't grab the golden banana as the wrong Kong. There are certain ones you can, like, for example, the one that I clipped through the non-existent wall in the mill in Fungi. You can actually grab that as any Kong. Oh, come on. Shoutouts to this Kasha being the biggest troll. And there's actually a little bit of a problem, like because I have the super duper Simeon Slam, the last Simeon Slam upgrade. Tiny's ground pound animation is really long and makes that room really hard.
I thought he was gonna hit you like right away. Oh.
Alright.
Nope.
Alright. So now we're back on track. And this is why we skewed into the blueprint room earlier. to grab the other side of this warp. Oh, hi.
That jump's fun.
Yeah, it's very
Wait,
precise.
what direction am I facing?
Oh yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Like the camera here is
Yeah.
just terrible in the water.
It just like flips all over the place, and everything looks the same in this level, which is why it's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens to most people who run this. You
Yeah,
just get
I-
lost so easily.
Yeah, this level specifically, like it's really impressive actually how well the levels are mostly designed to like make you not get lost, except for this one.
Yeah, I got lost so often during my first runs. When I fell down somewhere, I was like super lost.
I don't know. I feel like Fungi Forest is pretty easy to get lost in as well.
Yeah, but at least like when you like know what the different spaces are, they're very distinct. Like there are separate areas. You just have to like know how to get to a specific area.
This level, every wall looks the same.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. Bad
Yeah.
game design.
Creepy Castle kind of has the same issue, but you can always just keep going through with the ramp upwards because there's a giant spiral pathway that goes up the castle. So you have like a fail-safe sort of navigation thing. Alright, so more blueprint turn-ins. We're going to be turning in most of our blueprints here because turning them in Castle is really slow because the tag barrel is really far from the snides. We're only going to be turning in DKs and Diddies up there.
I love the finger pointing. It's so funny.
So try to get most of the O-bananas out of your system.
Every time I do this cuts, I'm like Monk S,
banana.
point left. Oh, so good.
Gonna be getting the instrument power here for later. And if you have any donations, this is a perfect time to read them.
Also, yeah, just like, also want to say quickly, like, casual 101% are amazing fun. If you ever do them, just
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Always fun to watch you suffer.
Or anyone in general. But yeah, any donations or sponsor stuff, feel free.
Sure, thank you very much. I'd like to give a big shout out to our long-term partner ViewSonic Elite, who are providing all the game monitors for the event. With over 30 plus years of experience working on CRT to single millisecond LCD monitors, ViewSonic Elite is using that knowledge to take their gaming products in a new direction. I'd also like to mention that later on, we currently have, for this run, we have completed a donation incentive. At the very end, Xafication will sing along to the entirety of the iconic Donkey Kong rap, so look forward to that.
So this is where we get the camera.
That's so quick. Dang.
That is actually sort of difficult. What you do there is you do a skid jump to be able to crouch in midair to pull out your camera and then quickly put it away again, so you gain the same phase that you use for swimming through walls, and then you maintain it as long as you're falling, so you can just fall through the wall. Conveniently called fall through vertical walls. It only works on Chunky because Chunky, contrary to what the DK rap aforementioned says, has the highest jump of all the Kongs. So no other Kong can get enough height to like get all the way through the wall during the falling. So this is actually a recent reroute. We're going to be doing this boss as Chunky because it allows us to clip out a little bit faster.
Wait, I think you found it like, what, two months ago or so?
Hmm?
I think you found the reroute like 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
I was the one who timed this, conveniently enough. And yeah, it's still only like me and Kiwi who do this, whoever Kiwi is. Who is Kiwi?
Yeah, I mean, it involves both vertical walls, so that's something you can easily lose time on.
Such epic music for an old scroller.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is like the best boss music in the entire game.
I love it.
So we're just like standing here and looking at the floor to reduce non-existent lag. N64 habits.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to this banger of a song.
Shoutouts to VC not having to reduce lag here.
Yeah, on Nintendo 64 you do like a lot of lag reduction strats in these bosses. You always want to be looking away from bosses, look at the ground while you don't need to do anything, stuff like that. On VC, we can mostly ignore that. I used to run for a while on Nintendo 64 before turning over, so it's just a habit. You can stand on this TNT barrel to dodge the first shockwave and reduce a bunch of lag.
Gotta save the frames.
And kill the animals. Wait, what? Wrong marathon.
Yeah. I love that laugh. It's so good. Got that Waluigi essence to it. It just gets hit on purpose there. It just makes the animation come out a lot faster for the last hit.
Yeah, because if we don't get hit by the missile, it just like keeps running after us until like a long ass timer runs out or we get hit. So we're just gonna be using our invulnerability to end the phase early. Alright, so we're gonna be doing our chunky turn-ins here. So if you have any more donations, feel free.
Thank you very much. We have a $10 donation from Smash the Bunny who says, "Oh, banana." And I'd like to remind everybody that we have some bid wars coming up later on tonight. We have The Witcher 3, where Save Siri is currently winning the ending by a vast amount. And we have numerous things for Dark Souls, such as Character Name, where Giant Dad is winning. Ending, where Dark Lord is winning. And Solaire's Fate, where Save Solaire is winning. So if you would like to shape that run, then get your donations in.
Also, I'll give you another reason to like Lanky. He has the dance, that amazing dance, dude.
Yeah, very
So good.
amazing.
Dude's great. Dude, every time it comes on I just have to do it every time I see it. It's so good.
Oh,
Banana.
Chunky's also just like so adorable.
Dude,
when he
in the
does that
beginner
dance.
route, you like do this for like 20 bananas back to back. You just sit there for ages. You could probably like make a cup of tea in that time.
Yeah, you also do that in 101%. Like you turn in everything at the very end. It's like a 5-minute section where you just like do nothing except watch that cutscene.
Well, it's nice you don't have to like press any buttons, so you can just literally go make a cup of tea if you feel like it.
I mean, you have to switch Kongs in between, but yeah.
No.
But it's like it like takes 1 minute per Kong, so yeah, you can
Go to the kettle, come back. There's a bit of a damage boost there.
Yeah, we're gonna be using the invincibility frames from that orange damage to just roll across this lava. And even though we can't take damage, instant kill fields like late game lava still kill us.
You get some delightful screeching sounds from the lava there.
Yeah, because it's just waiting to deal its damage. It's like, stop the dancing already! I want to kill you.
I feel like that sound is way louder on N64.
It is.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it is, like super loud.
Or maybe we just give a big shout out to our tech crew for compressing the sounds.
Maybe.
I have actually no clue. I haven't paid attention to like that sort of audio levels.
Could be the case.
All right. So coming up is the last full level, so to speak, in Creepy Castle, and here you can have a lookout for indications of how laggy this game is, because it actually constantly lags even on Virtual Console, because there's like rain and a lot of visual effects going on. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, we're fine.
Creepy Castle would never lag, dude. Never.
Is there a reason why you don't use peanuts for that guy specifically?
Shockwaving's faster. Alright, or it would be if I wouldn't get shockwave myself.
Oh yeah, I guess you had to jump over the shockwave.
Yeah. Then again, I can't shoot him either when I'm dodging the shockwave.
Optimal stair climbing, Pog.
Small things. Honestly, like the movement in this game looks really straightforward, but when you start getting into it, like that's really the thing that separates like top runners, is especially on Virtual Console when there's like a less punishment for getting hit and stuff like that. It's just a bunch of movement and proper spacing everywhere. Alright, so we're going to enter this tree here. And this tree is a giant meme, because normally you would have to do the Baboon Blast to enter it. But there are like two main ways to enter it. One of this is this swim through vertical walls, or you can orange clip. So it's a great meme on like PAL or JP Virtual Console where you can do neither. So you actually have to do the baboon blast, and it has some of the like best music in the entire game, but you never hear it.
Also, fun fact: if you walk out of this area, you get soft locked because there's a gate blocking the entrance.
Yeah, and then you're stuck in like that walking out sort of cutscene.
It happened to me in one of my first runs.
Oh really?
I had no coconuts left, so I was like, I'm just gonna leave, and then I got soft locked.
Excuse me.
This game is brutal if you don't know anything like
Yeah,
stuff wise.
It can be really punishing sometimes.
Yeah, so it's connected to the area here, and you can just kind of like clip the wall there, go around the room, and just kick right into the banana.
Yeah, we used the added floor height of the main level. Normally you would have to like swim down there, use the sniper scope to shoot a bunch of targets moving around on the walls to like raise the water level to reach that golden banana, but we can just take it and grab it from out of bounds. And here's a trick called crypt swim, because we swim to the crypt. You do like kind of a precise out of bounds swimming thing there. There's a very little space in that ledge to actually like stay out of bounds. So he gets to this crypt really fast. I'm gonna be rolling against that Kasplat twice to like keep his health at 1, so I can just shoot him once so he dies. It's interesting how Kasplat health works, because whenever they get knocked down, their health gets set to 1. That's where you can like knock them down with a running attack and just slap them once and they die. But normally they would regain that health after a while. But if you like roll into them again while they're knocked down, it somehow like stores that. I actually don't know exactly how that works, but it's convenient. Alright, shoutouts to the most underused game mechanic, Diddy double jump. And we're gonna fly all the way to the top of this castle and to Knight's headquarters to churn in the rest of our blueprints. So last chances, guys.
Get some donations in.
That too. I have no clue why Snides has all of this stuff in his headquarters.
It's cool though.
Yeah, I guess it is. Oh, banana.
So in this right, you don't do the moon kick to the boss, right?
No, I do
Oh,
it.
that sucks. I like the moon kick.
I'm gonna do it as chunky. So a little bit of lore here, a little bit late in the run maybe, but Snides, the weasel here, is actually like he's K. Rool's head engineer, or was, but he has betrayed K. Rool due to reasons that I don't remember, and he's willing to help the Kongs defeat K. Rool. So if we collect the original blueprints of the Blastomatic, which is the super weapon that K. Rool tries to use to destroy DK Island, he can like get into the can sabotage the Blastomatic. So once we enter Helm, we have more time before it loads up and can actually fire. But interestingly enough, because we are in main menu mode, that timer will never actually start. So we have infinite time there, regardless of what we do.
It's also great because any percent doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, you can actually do Helm really quickly. If you do it the sort of intended way, like that you actually turn the Blastomatic off, using glitches, you can barely do it in under 10 minutes, which is the default timer on a virtual console. So it's interesting that they made 10 minutes the default timer, because it's literally impossible to turn off the Blastomatic that quickly casually, no matter how well you play. It is very, very difficult even with glitches. I think the world record for Blastomatic shutdown is like 9:47 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's all of the blueprints turned in. And here's going to be another cool ledge clip. We're going to be doing library clip because you clip into the library. I'm going to do a precise jump here to clip in here and just enter library through the exit door instead of having to go through the entire maze. I'm just going to grab this golden banana, do a little bit of a cutscene overlap here, and just roll out, making that room really, really quick, really
Damn, the beginner route for this level is so different.
Yeah, 40 blueprints route does way less like normal golden bananas late game because you need to get all the blueprints anyway, and you want to turn them in as late as possible. So we basically, to put it simply, we change slow blueprints to really fast late game golden bananas.
So it's just like get a feel of the game kind of route.
Yeah, you do like castle in the beginner route is really short. Like you legit just go around and get blueprints, and that's it. I did that way too early. Oh well. Absent-mindedness. But yeah, as you can see, we're 99 golden bananas. We're gonna be doing our final level boss here. Do another one of these to get to the final boss. We can enter this as any Kong, and we'll always start as Lanky because the game does not like us.
I just noticed you enter the door a certain way to skip the cutscene. I didn't even know that was even a thing.
Yeah, there's a certain part of that loading zone, like at the very back, where you can enter it so it doesn't actually play the whole small cutscene that where you like walk through the door. It saves a couple of seconds every time. It's pretty precise, but it's really consistent once you know how to do it.
This boss is essentially another auto-scroller.
Yeah, this is mostly an auto-scroller. There's a little bit of a luck-based time save here. Like when we enter third phase, we want to have the last hit of the second phase be on a certain wall. There's no way to manipulate it. That's completely luck-based. But that way we can like stop him rotating around the castle and hit him on the fastest possible cycle, which is normally impossible.
Yeah.
And that is only possible because we actually want to get rid of Lanky, which should be a given, but you know.
You gotta keep him in the other route.
Yeah, but in this route we want to exit this as Tiny because there's one more golden banana we want to get with Tiny right after this.
You wanna talk us through how we can unlock Kongs here and even unlock Tiny casually without using glitches?
Yeah, so you can actually unlock all the Kongs through this boss fight because the game assumes that you have all the Kongs at this point in the run, at this point in the game. So you start as Lanky and then you can just pause, exit out of this fight as any Kong you want, and you just exit as that Kong, so you free them that way. And that is actually done in a lot of one-on-one routes. So I didn't get the proper wall, so I'm going to be just doing this their normal way. So for those who don't know, even during these laser phases, in this third phase, he just goes counterclockwise. So we can predict when he's on the right cannon. We're going to be using this specific cannon because this is the wall you can swim through vertical walls on. And that is the faster way of just getting rid of Lanky, instead of having to miss a shot.
It's actually one of the laggiest rooms in N64.
Yeah, this lags. This, like all boss fights, it has some terrible lag issues. So most of this fight is just lag reduction on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of a cool strat here. So the reason we keep track of the swing through vertical walls wall, it has like we look at the cobwebs to know which wall it is because at the end here we're not gonna swim back and grab the key. We're just gonna swim through the wall and void out because that just gets us out of the boss fight and gives us the key. Skipping a little bit of swimming here.
Also, if anyone's wondering like how he knows what boss it was when there was two of them, like the one that's the real one's like a little bit lighter.
Yeah, there's like a shadow on the second phase.
It's actually exactly the same as Ocarina of Time.
Alright. I've still not played Ocarina of Time. It's really weird. Like, I even own the game, but I just haven't gone around to playing it. My brother bought it because he planned on speedrunning it at one point.
Gonna get sucked into the rando culture.
Nah, he was just too bad. He gave up. He gave up. Ocarina of Time is hard, dude. You should know better than anyone. It is hard, and he was like 12.
Just casually, it's fun.
Yeah. So this is what we got instrument power for earlier on. Just kill these bugs really fast. And, okay, I kind of missed it. Yeah, ideally you can do a kick slide there and grab the golden banana just as it spawns.
There's a few rooms in the game that the developers just expect you to fight all these things. You can just play the instrument. It's just so much faster.
It's kind of sad, to be honest.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier in the claptrap room. Like, that room just lets you play the instrument for no reason. Like,
Just
it makes
cheese it.
same as the shed is chunky earlier on. It's just like.
Did you just void out of bounds like that? Just from the screen rather than falling? That's
Yeah,
fun.
you could just fall to your death, but it's slightly faster to get like extra distance on that ponytail twirl and void out.
Damn, all these voids.
I'm gonna be making a save state here just for crash safety because there's a couple of spots that are known to crash a lot, and we might be getting a little bit locked in Helm. All right, so we're gonna be turning in keys 6 and 7 to open the last level of the game, and here's a common meme that happens to everybody at some point. You actually have to turn in 2 keys here. But the first key puts you in the same spot as every other key. So a lot of people just go with muscle memory, where they spawn in, they just exit K-Lumsies, and then they get up to Helm entry and it's closed, and it's like
It's happened to me.
So shout outs to Falcon X Falcon, who actually lost a world record pace run to that. He exited K-Lumsies, and he realized luckily there that he didn't, but just by having to re-enter, he lost enough time to lose world record, and he actually tied it to the second at the time.
Oh, wow.
And as a result, Kiwi Killer 67 has not dropped a no levels early world record in at least 3 years. And we still don't know who he is.
Who's Kiwi?
So the reason the whole who's Kiwi thing keeps coming up is way back in the day when a pretty known DK runner known as CFox was still running this game. Kiwi got world record in no levels early and hosted CFox afterwards on Twitch. And CFox had never heard of them, so it's like goes all like, "Who's this Kiwi guy?" It's like, why is everyone in his chat talking about Donkey Kong? He's like, "Who is this guy?" Because for some reason he had managed to not know who the world record holder is. Shout outs to CFox.
Was speedrunning the game?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's like a very well-known runner of this game. He actually still does it on and off, but not as actively as he used to.
There's so many retired players that still come around every now and then for like a few days or weeks, or just discover some random glitches and then vanish again.
Yeah, this game is a drug. Like, there's a bunch of people who don't run the game anymore, but who are still like in the Discord, just doing the same memes and talking to people and discussing things in the game. It can be really frustrating to run sometimes because there's a bunch of things that are kind of out of your control, and some of the tricks can be really inconsistent because they're like really timing and feel based.
So the thing you just did there was like you can climb the slopes.
Oh yeah, so normally we would want to climb that slope as Lanky using a rank stand, but Lanky's slow because he's terrible at everything. So we use Tiny instead because she's fast.
But if you watch any percent, it's super comical because
Yeah.
you see DK just slapping the ground over and over.
Yeah,
It's
you can actually climb that slope as any Kong with more or less difficulty, but Tiny can just climb basically any any slope infinitely by just jumping out of kick slides.
This is a good computer, well placed.
Yeah, so that is known as terminal clip because we used to terminal the clip out of bounds. And we're going to be doing all of Helm out of bounds. So we're like, the reason I was talking about the Blast-O-Matic shutdown earlier is we're not actually going to be doing that. We're just going to be doing a cool out of bounds navigation here to get to the key without doing any of Helm actually. So we're going to be going around DK's room here. The camera is a little bit wonky because it's locked inside the room.
One of the scariest cameras in the game when you're new.
Yeah.
If you go in that room, your run's probably over.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, if you fall into that room, not only do you lose height, but it's also really hard to get out of there.
Yeah. But at least you can save and like quit at this point, but it's still
yeah, in the beginner
pretty
route.
bad. Yeah, beginner route.
In this route, we have the camera, so we can do the chunky clip out. Can I get in there? Thank you.
There we go. So you pretty much skipped the whole thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna inbounds here just to gain a little bit of height, and that was terminal 1 clip. So this is terminal 2 clip. You can see there's a little bit of a gap between the terminal and the wall, so we can just jump into that gap and walk through the wall because what are walls?
It's one of the easiest tricks in the game.
It's one of the easiest out-of-bounds clip in the games, and it specifically skips the crown door and the door that requires rare and Nintendo coin from DK Arcade and Jetpack. So it is something that we recommend to like a lot of really frustrated like casual runners who can't beat DK Arcade.
Well, so another thing he just did before he grabbed that key was he looked at the glass, the window.
Also, here's Helm Escape. So we're going to be doing this fall through vertical walls glitch to void out here. And we're going to be doing it again to clip through this door here. There we go. That was actually really good.
I was gonna say, like, he faced the glass wall there with the key, and if you don't face that glass wall for some reason, the game's kind of weird decoded, so that the game doesn't give you the key, and you can just soft lock your game of not getting the key. It's just so.
You can go back for it, but yeah, it's something that happens to both speedrunners and casual gamers. We call it fake key, because you like grab the key, you do the banana dance and everything, but when you go into your pause menu, it doesn't actually count towards your totals, and you can't turn it in. It's really weird. It loads the key in a weird way, so you can completely avoid that by just facing the window and the door while grabbing the key.
Did it ever happen to you, Fuzzy?
No, because I listened to the tutorial properly.
Yeah. I think it has happened to me like once because I tried to dance skip the key. You can do that, but I had a weird camera angle for that.
Yeah.
Also, shoutouts to the best cutscene in the game. This interestingly enough, this takeoff cutscene where K Lumsey's freed and he attacks the flying plane where K Rool tries to escape with. This doesn't play if you don't turn in all the keys. So if you watch an any % run or a 101% run, we only turn in keys 3 and 8. That spawns the final boss without playing this cutscene. But yeah, while we're watching this amazing cutscene, if you have any more donations, here's your final chance to read them out.
Absolutely, thank you very much. I'd like to remind everybody that we are ESA Summer 2019 and we are streaming to you on Twitch. Twitch is one of our sponsors this year, sponsoring us and the continued support of other speedrunning events. And chat, I'd just like to say one word, or 2 words actually, Twitch Prime. Your Twitch subs and your cheers will be going towards the final donation total. So let's get those Twitch Primes in and let's get those donations in. Thank you all very, very much for supporting the marathon.
Twitch Prime.
The classic Smash Bros.
Yeah. Also shoutouts to K Lumsey becoming like as big as DK Island somehow, even though his prison island is like way smaller. And yeah, he just grew gigantic. And for some reason, K Rool's just running away like around the island. Also shoutouts to this giant boulder that came out of nowhere.
Is it not fast to reset? I guess because we've.
I can't reset because the game's still not saving.
Oh yeah, because the route.
Yeah, in the beginner route where you like you're out of main menu mode and the game starts saving again, you would just reset out of that room with key 8 in it, and not have to do Helm Escape.
You skipped all the cutscenes. Oh.
That's a crash.
When's the last time you saved?
Before Helm.
Do you have a 100% save file? You could just do the final boss.
We should probably do
yeah,
this,
I could do that.
Considering the estimate.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Shout out to the Wii Virtual Console.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just if you have a complete file, just do the boss. It's pretty much the same thing anyway. Just so you have a bit more health.
Wait. Did I load the wrong profile?
Yeah, shoutouts to Wii U VC just randomly crashing from time to time. Happens every now and then, even on PvP
I know the
base
feel
or
from
during
OT.
marathon runs.
Dude,
Yeah.
OT does the same thing. It just makes me so sad.
Yeah. It does that sometimes. Luckily, I have a bunch of different profiles, and the only thing we really have left is the final boss. So you're just going to basically be skipping. Where I'm going to load up another profile and just do the final boss from there.
So how often do you actually have to practice the final boss?
I don't practice it a lot anymore. I used to practice it a lot because it's actually not very easy to do optimally, but once you learn it, it's pretty consistent to do over and over again. So
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Just gonna reboot this real quick.
Is this part of the run?
Now it is.
It's RNG manipulation for the boss.
So normally if that happens in your run is just automatically dead because using save states is banned.
Yeah, that's what happened to you like a few weeks ago when you were back on a back-to-back PB.
Yeah, I was actually like, I PB'd one day, and on the very next day I got another run that was like 2 minutes ahead of that.
The same cutscene.
And during that final takeoff cutscene, in the middle of it where K Lumsey kind of waves at you, the game just crashed and it's like, okay, guess I'm not PBing again. All right, so
I felt so bad for
here's
you.
the final boss of the game. So we're just going to be doing a boxing match with Rool. So this is going to be like 12 minutes of just non-stop martial arts action, monkey style.
And funny cutscenes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of funny cutscenes. So we're going to be fighting Rool as every Kong separately, in order, starting with DK. And this is actually a really well-designed boss, actually. I wish the rest of the game would be more like this, where you just kind of work together to do the objectives. Because all of the Kongs are going to use their like specific powers to deal damage to Rool in a specific way.
Man, Tiny's the worst.
Yeah, Tiny Phase is going to be...
So boring.
Yeah.
especially on Virtual Console. But yeah, we're going to talk about that when we get there. So as DK, we're going to be using the Baboon Blast power. So we're going to be climbing these poles and entering a Baboon Blast barrel that somehow appears here. And Rool's trying to guard himself by punching, but he always does a set pattern of punching, so we can like actually just count his punches and know when to shoot him without actually seeing him drop his guard.
Hopefully we can get the fast cycle.
Yeah, here I can like enter the barrel during this cutscene by timing this jump properly,
Nice.
so I can shoot instantly as I gain control again.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, usually you'd have to wait 4 punches there.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Just gonna be going around this arena, and whoa.
The devs are so mean for intentionally trolling you here.
1, 2, 3. So actually, like normally there, he just does a little bit of a feint, where he like kind of drops his guard, but really doesn't. But we can still hit him in that. So that's DK phase.
So how good are your rap skills?
We'll see. We'll find out.
Let's see.
Yeah, hopefully the audience is up for it.
I'm always up for it.
All right, so there's a slight side effect. Normally we would still be in main menu mode here, so we can't take damage. Diddy phase is actually a little bit risky, and now because we're in a normal file, we actually can take damage. So there's a slight risk that I might die here if something goes terribly wrong. It shouldn't happen. Also, shoutouts to lamp hitboxes. You can just set up like specifically next to these lamps where you like bullets go straight through the lamp like that, and just shoot both of the switches immediately.
Oh wow, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool.
It's not even too hard to learn.
It's kind of hard to do fast because you might lose your entire setup if you don't hit them in time and he hits you with his flying boxing gloves.
I was just like hitting one of the switches and then damage boosting to the other side.
Yeah, and normally it's intended you just fly around and hit the other one. It's actually like easily the hardest phase of Rool.
Yeah, it is.
And it's actually still really hard to do fast. That was actually a really good Diddy phase.
If the double shot, it's much easier. Like, I'm not a top runner at all. I'm like, yeah, not even midfield, I'd say. And I usually get like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
This phase is cool. I like this phase.
So the Lanky phase is probably the second hardest phase of Rool. So this phase is all about cycle. So Rool is going to be moving in a very set pattern blindly around the arena, and we're going to be throwing a banana peel and then bait him to run towards us by playing the instrument like this. So if we do this well, I can make him run so he immediately slip on the banana peel without having to wait for any cycles here. Just immediately play the instrument.
As a casual, the hardest thing here is just hitting the switches.
Yeah,
It's so
those
hard.
switches have like really bad hitboxes sometimes.
And if you're having trouble with getting the barrel in the right direction casually, you can always do the baby stress and just throw the barrel on the music pad. It'll always work, but you just take damage every time.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing you can do if you're worried about this. Oh crap.
Uh-oh. The cycle.
Accidentally walked into his boxing glove. I'm gonna miss the like super fast cycle here, and I'm also gonna miss the fast cycle here because
there's the thing I was talking about.
yeah,
Just hitboxes.
Hitboxes are great in this game.
yeah. I was like not hitting it, but like the angle is really finicky. I have no
And
clue
the
where he is.
camera
Okay.
is
That one as
terrible.
well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for him to align here.
There you go.
He's still like right on top of it, so this is like moderately fast.
Now for the best one, yay!
Alright, so Tiny Phase is the longest phase of the fight. And on Virtual Console, it's by far the easiest. On Nintendo 64, you actually do a bunch of lag reduction strats because the toes that we're going to be hitting are like really, really laggy on Nintendo.
So weird. Like, why do the toes lag?
Yeah, because they're like there's so many active hitboxes, things moving. But even with all the lag reduction strats, I'm going to try to showcase how you would do the lag reduction just so you can see what you do. It's not easy. It's kind of hard to do optimally. But even with all the lag reductions we do, a good Tiny Phase on Virtual Console is like 410. A good one on N64 is like 435. So it's still VC still saves like 25 seconds over this less than 5-minute section. So it's nuts how much this phase lags. But on Virtual Console, since we don't have to worry about lag, it's mostly just an auto-scroller. We're going to be looking up here because of habits.
So it's a good time to fit some donations if you want to fit a quick donation in.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Certainly, we have a $10 donation from Lupu the Mad, who says, "My grandmother has been suffering from Alzheimer's for several years. It's a horrific disease that I hope will get a cure soon. Keep going with the great work, ESA." And I will remind everybody that we are raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. The Alzheimer's Foundation enables us to be able to help search for a cure and enable us to get some grants. With the support of the Alzheimer's Foundation's well-functioning diagnostic tests have been developed. So thank you all very much for your support of us and the Alzheimer's Foundation.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so everything in this phase is really set. So the amount of shockwaves he does is set so we can instantly hit this barrel. The toe patterns are actually set. It's always the same. There's a cool file commonly known as toes.txt which like tells you where to stand for this.
Toes.txt.
So here's like the lag reduction thing you would do. You like look down to like not look at the toes, and then hit the toes with an orange instead of using the gun. Especially in this category where it has a sniper scope. The sniper scope actually lags a lot because it just puts extra things on the screen. Just gonna be waiting these cycles out.
You just look at the timer or you just listen to the sound?
I'm just listening to the sound because it's a set amount of shockwaves.
Yeah.
Two, three, four, three, four. Yeah, so since these toes move like really fast on Virtual Console, it's really easy to actually die here if you don't know the pattern. But I shouldn't be taking a single hit here if I like don't mess up majorly.
Hit of shame.
Yeah. It doesn't lose a lot of time unless it's like on the very last hit before I can hit the toes. On N64, you go out of first person and it lags the heck out of the game. So you really don't want to get hit. So this phase is actually fairly difficult on N64. Here we're just like cruising through it. But yeah, on Virtual Console, like most things are actually harder on Virtual Console, especially at least if you ask me, because timings are way more strict because there's less lag frames, and you like can't go the same distances and stuff like that, and you have to sometimes do harder clips instead of like orange clips.
Yeah, also the controls and the input lag on
Yeah.
the PC is just...
Yeah, Virtual
Nice.
Console, like for some reason, Virtual Console for this game has a little bit of input delay. I'm using a RAFnet adapter and using an N64 controller for this, so it minimizes a little bit of it. Certain controllers lag way more than others, and if you're using an HD TV without any like proper cables and stuff like that, it can lag, like it can just be like almost half a second delayed. It's nuts. And yeah, like I was talking about earlier, the directions are really finicky, where like it's really, really hard to run straight and hold a specific angle. All right, so here's the last phase of the K. Rool fight. Arguably maybe the second easiest on Nintendo 64.
Just don't backflip.
Oops.
Yeah, do you backflip for me?
I can backflip.
Yeah, I guess so.
So we're just gonna be hitting the switch in the middle, then going to the same corner every time to get the Gorilla Gun pad, and going back to the middle to get to the Hunky Chunky barrel. And for these punches, it's really useful to use K. Rool's shadow as an indicator of when to punch. Like when its shadow reaches a certain spot on the floor, you punch. Because the timings are really consistent, but they change from punch to punch.
So I got a question. Is it true that someone lost the world record to doing a backflip on this ball?
It is.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that later on. So,
I'm sorry I had to ask.
So there, for those of you with FFZ, you might notice the emote Chunky backflip and choking the world record in the chat.
Get it in the chat, boys.
And there's a whole thing about backflipping in this phase, because there was a runner named Connor75 who was on the first time ever on world record pace in 101% in this game, and it's like a 6-hour category. So at the very end of a 6-hour run, on the very last punch, he accidentally presses A instead of B. Like when you're supposed to do a primate punch, he pressed A instead and did a backflip and got hit by K. Rool, lost like 30 seconds and lost the world record to that. And he will never live it out.
It's a good meme.
Also, time's coming up soon.
Yep,
Yeah.
next hit, right?
Yeah, so he doesn't even have the world record anymore. I'm just going to do this. Yay!
No. Okay.
Oh,
Did it
rip,
for the memes.
rip world
okay.
record.
There goes the world record.
Oh, man.
I'm still underestimate, so I can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reenactment of what happened.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Like he was like, because you split on yeah, so time's coming up here. Time is when I hit K. Rool when the cutscene starts.
So mean.
So and time.
Oh, nice job.
Hey, sub 220. Even with the crash.
Yeah.
Crash and the backflip.
And the backflip, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can happen. So he was like hovering over the split key to like time on the very end of the punch, and he was like hovering the wrong key on the controller. He's a huge meme. He will never live it out. And interestingly enough, there's a legacy going on with that, because the current world record holder in that category, Falcon X Falcon, also choked his first world record pace run at the end of Tiny Phase because he decided to spam a bunch of oranges, and because there were so many things on the screen, the game crashed.
Wow.
Nice.
I didn't even know that.
So
That's a good story.
whoever wants to get 101% world record, be prepared to lose your first world record pace run to K. Rool for
Yeah,
some
on
some
Lanky.
really weird phase.
But either Lanky, Diddy, or Donkey, I think.
Yeah, something. All right, but that was no levels early for Donkey Kong 64. If you're interested in this game, I'll be running 101% while we get back from ESA, so you can follow me on Twitch. And there's a bunch of other players. If you want to see more of this category, you can check out Kiwi Killer 67, who's the current world record holder, going for sub 2 in this category. And it's one of the, like, shout outs to the DK community. It's one of the most welcoming communities. We have a lot of like
really
like, if you have any questions, if you want to learn anything about the game, you don't even need to learn to run the game. If you just have any questions regarding stuff in the game, you can join the Discord and ask in the help channel. Someone will help you within like an hour, because someone is always up in Degen hours as well. And yeah, there's just a bunch of really weird memes going on in the community, so it's really fun to hang around with these people. Also, again, for shoutouts to Abayo on the French restream. Anything that went wrong this run, I blame Abayo.
Like the live
played
VC
Abayo.
crash, yeah.
Yeah, especially for that. All right, thank you very much, and good luck to all the rest of the runners, and thank you
got a
everyone
wrap.
for donating.
I think we still
We
owe
got a
them
DK wrap.
DK
Oh,
wrap.
yeah.
You can't
right.
run away.
Oh,
Don't run away, dude.
I almost forgot.
So I guess I reset the game.
Yeah, so how do we do this? Do I like put it from the
Put the intro?
console or
Yeah.
something? I can pull it up from the main menu. How do we
Yeah,
do
go
this?
on the intro,
Yeah.
the video of
Best
the
thing
whole
to do, I
DK
guess.
rap.
I guess so, yeah.
So, do we have microphones for the audience? Does
I
the
mean,
audience
they'll probably be able to
participate?
hear through our
Yeah, we have overhead microphones.
They'll
So
be able to hear.
so in the words of the DK rap, if you know the words, you can join in too. So anybody at home and anybody in the audience can join in on the.
I was
On the
forced
great
into
song.
this. Hashtag bullied.
You could bully.
We just skipped it. We could just done that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out from the
Oh, this
from
is
the
so cringe.
main menu.
It's the best.
All right,
Let's go.
everybody ready?
Oh, show some excitement here. Come on, guys. It's a charity.
All right.
Let's go.
So as per donation requests, the DK rap.
Oh, shit.
I'm cool with this. Whatever. It's a
All
good
right. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's even got karaoke lyrics.
Here we go.
So they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. DK, Donkey Kong, he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. He's coconut gun, can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK, Donkey Kong, DK. Donkey Kong is here. He's got style. So listen up, dudes. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can float through the air and climb up trees. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong. DK, Donkey Kong. He has no style, he has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. He inflates himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs this tune. DK, Donkey Kong, DK. Donkey Kong is here, back again, and about time too. And this time, he's in the mood. He can fly real high with his jetpacks on, with his pistols out. He's one tough Kong. Then you smile when he plays his tune. But gremlins beware, cause he's after you. DK, Donkey Kong. Finally, he's here for you. He's the last member of the DK crew. He's Kong so strong, it isn't funny. He'll make a gremlin cry out for mommy. He'll pick up a boulder with relative ease. He's crushing rocks, seems such a breeze. He's made moves slow, he can jump high, but this Kong's one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge. What? Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah. Woo! Also, I'd recommend you check out the Bohemian Rhapsody version. That one's amazing.
And the Siva Gunner version with the coconut gun.
Yeah, that one as well.
There's a lot of remixes of that. So thank you very much to ESA for this opportunity, and hope you have a great rest of your week.
Sorry for your ear cancer.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
God dang.